some, get some. Can I get a hell yeah?
Yes, I am a pirate.
You have to go with the Pirates because, of course, they have cannons and everything.
It's a pirate's life for me.
Be proud of who you are and what you are. You're pirate.
It is a first down. Pirates.
Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
I think I've ever been in a building as loud as that was. It was deafening in there.
Whoever Omaha, I can promise you that. And it's purple all night long in Eastern North Carolina.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.
My heart is purple and gold. I'm a pirate down of my soul, and I don't back down not at all. Find out when the cannons explode.
All right, welcome in to the Sports Objective as TSO On Deck. I believe this is episode 3, and we have got a great show. And I tell you what, I'm so excited because we kind of have Hollywood Squares going on tonight. One of the things I'm really proud of is this show, by the way, March 1st. The Sports Objective has been like broadcasting for almost 8 years, believe it or not. So, and the reason I bring that up is there's so many friends I've met along the way. Obviously, Stevie and Johnny, Justin, and but we have a very special guest who's also been another friend I've made because of the show. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, Alan Vick has been my friend for 30 years. So we have a big anniversary, don't we, bud?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah, you don't have to, Alan. You don't have to get me anything for our anniversary.
I can arrange that.
Okay. Let's start off with my buddy Kyle from LaGrange Barber. How are you, man?
What's going on, guys? Yeah, looking like Hollywood Squares here tonight. Of course, the main star right in the center of the stage, right in the middle of the squares.
Oh my God!
Right in the middle of the
Wait a minute! Right
if
this is the Brady
Craig,
Bunch,
down, Craig,
if this is the Brady Bunch, that means Kyle's my dad.
Well,
who's your dad?
I'm Pal's dad.
Look. Shut up, Peter. So yeah, Peter Brady.
We're gonna call it
the
Peter.
youngest one in curls. Look, guys.
Marsha.
Mom always said, "Don't play ball in the house."
Oh my nose!
Pork chops and applesauce.
I was getting ready to say that. Oh my God! You broke my nose. Okay.
What was Jan's boyfriend's name?
George Glass.
George Glass. Yeah.
Good pull, Dave.
Yes, George Glass.
My useless knowledge.
I love. Yeah,
the nation of useless information.
What's Brady's dog's name?
Useless information.
Wasn't Alice in the middle?
Yeah, you know what? She was.
Hey,
I guess I'm
yeah,
the
she
cleaning
was.
lady.
You're the housekeeper. You're the housekeeper.
Well, somebody's got to clean the house, Stevie.
What about Sam? Sam the butcher over there with you?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? We're married. You're the butcher. Congratulations, we're dating, Stevie.
I'm actually would be Peter over here, I think.
You're right.
I don't know.
The boys were on the left side and the girls were on the right.
Yeah.
So Alan Vick is Marsha.
Marsha.
And Johnny is Jan.
I don't know what my favorite line from that song is. The youngest
Tiger.
one.
That's right, David. Tiger was the dog's name.
That was the dog, Tiger.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Cousin Oliver.
At least David was listening to me. Appreciate it, David.
Oliver.
And they had a cat.
Cousin Oliver.
They had a cat.
Yeah, they had a cat. His name was Wolf.
And Davy Jones.
Oh yeah.
You know. He heard Marsha was his number one fan.
Yeah, he did. Miss Brady. Oh, there was a lot of talk about that. I know they went on a date.
One day.
Yeah, fan with Greg. Yeah, so he did Marsha and the mom. Greg's a player. But you know when clowns never laughed before, beanstalks never grew.
Oh boy! There's a pony line in there too, wasn't it, Kyle?
Okay.
Do what?
Alan
He's
Vick.
never ran before till something like
Oh,
that.
he's never ran before. Was it Johnny Bravo? What was his name?
Johnny Bravo, yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Bravo. That's
Alan,
hard.
Where did we go wrong here? Where have we gone wrong already with the Brady Bunch stuff?
And there was y'all noticed there was never a toilet in the bathroom. They would always be in the bathroom. They didn't have a toilet.
Never a toilet there.
And they
had an outhouse.
Brady's were the first couple to sleep in a bed together.
Yeah.
Ever. I mean, there was never a couple, not just on TV, but in real life.
Yeah.
And they had an AstroTurf yard that Greg will be out there mowing.
Yep.
Sports.
Joe Namath played. Joe Namath played on that AstroTurf, Kyle.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Oh, Bobby sucked.
But speaking of big time stars like the Brady Bunch, and we're gonna have to get to Craig here in a minute. He's our special guest. He's got an interesting story to tell. But the big news that we'll circle back to is Mr. Beast finally potentially getting involved with ECU. I think he's going to have to address it some way, shape, or form because it's making national media. Newsweek is reporting, Sports Center's talking about it. It's all over the place. So it is out there enough where it's going to have to be addressed. I think he'll give something to the football program. Whether he follows through with the $100 million or anything comparable is yet to be seen. But I do think at this point, I won't say have to. Nobody has to do anything. But I think he'll have egg on his face if he doesn't do something as much publicity as it's gotten.
Well, Alan Vick gave $200 million last year. $100 million is chump change.
True.
I mean, he's going to have to. Mr. Beast is going to have to step it up. $100 million is a joke these days.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I told him. I said, you got to step it up, my man. Step it up. If you're going to play with the big boys, you got to get with it.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Beast, he's only like a billionaire. I mean, $100 million would be a pocket change for him.
Yeah. He's very calculated, though, and I feel like the fact that this is out to the level that it is gives me some hope that there's, like Kyle said, maybe not $100 million, hopefully, but if not, I feel like there will be some big time involvement.
The reason why Kyle has a center square tonight for Hollywood Squares, the Sports Objective.
Yeah, people want to talk about whose idea it was. People like Jeff Traylor.
Oh,
Jeff Traylor trash.
Good Lord.
Oh my Lord.
Jeff Traylor trash. Hey, look, you goofy son of a bitch. A lot of people, a lot of people had this idea, Jeff Traylor trash. But I can tell you this: I've been saying this on the air for about 3 years now.
3 years, yeah. I give you credit because I told you that the person I said was Alan Vick knows personally is Vince McMahon. Because I was saying Vince McMahon, and you said,
Mr. Beast. Yeah, it was so obvious. I've been saying it for 3 years. So Jeff Traylor apparently came up with the idea, and we stole it. And we'll get to that too. But we need to get to Craig. Craig's on a limited schedule here. And so did everybody get introduced? We got Alan Vick, radio legend Alan Vick. We got the Lasker legend himself, Mr. Stevie Fly. We got the king of stats, Mr. Johnny Robertson. We got the umpire himself, Mr. Wildfire Tommy Rich.
Did somebody say somebody getting fired up?
And Mr. Justin Butts, and then we got secret agent man, special guest Craig Doucette.
Welcome in, Craig. How you doing?
How are you guys doing?
Well, I remember vividly. Unfortunately, Kyle couldn't be with us, but I remember vividly when we were in Birmingham, and you wanted to come on. You're like,
I was busy getting chemo that day.
I know. I wasn't criticizing you.
I'm just saying.
I wanted you to be there with us, and I hated you couldn't do it. But anyway, so we literally, how about this? We're going to change the name of the school, guys, to Beasts Carolina. I like it, Kenneth.
You know what I thought about that, Kenneth? I thought, that Beast of the East, Beast Carolina, there's so much you can do. It writes itself.
But Kyle, would ESPN still call us Beastern Carolina?
Beastern Carolina.
Clip that.
Probably. Good one. Clip that. Yes, clip that.
Craig. So Craig was on with us, and can you talk about your previous employment before what we're getting ready to talk about, or not now?
Yeah, I mean, I can just mention it, but I'm not going to talk about it. I was employed with the federal government with the Secret Service for 25 years as an agent, and then retired. I did a couple years of corporate security, which wasn't my thing, and then that's what got me to umpire school. My wife asked me when I left that job, what do you really want to be when you grow up? And I was like, I'd love to be like an NCAA umpire or something like that. And she said, find a school. And so I found this school, and I went, and it was amazing. It was tough. It was a grind. It was like drinking through a fire hose and trying to absorb all the information because I'd never umpired before ever. And that's how I got to here. But also got some other fingers in the pot, like open my own LLC for private security services and executive protection and that kind of thing. And then also I teach adjunct down the street at a criminal justice academy, the same thing. So private investigations, executive protection, security officer stuff. So
that's very cool. So you're Secret Service by day and umpire by night.
Retired, no longer connected.
So with your decision to go to umpiring school, I mean, you said no umpiring experience. Like
That's
Justin's umpired high school, he's umpired college. It still does. I shouldn't say has, but you jumped from I haven't umpired at all, so I'm going to MLB umpiring school.
Yeah. So the interesting thing for me is it kind of parallels with my Secret Service journey, right? So like I got into the Secret Service straight out of East Carolina, 22 years old, straight out of college. I went to the uniform division, which is like the White House police. And I learned from them. I had no shooting experience, nothing. So I learned how they did business and how they conducted themselves. And that's how I performed throughout my whole career. Just without any other tools in my toolbox, all my tools came from there. And that's kind of the way I looked at the umpire thing. I mean, there's a lot of local associations and Mid-Atlantic associations and other associations. Actually, I met quite a few guys that are in like the Charlotte area and Greensboro that are hooked into association and do NCAA games. So they're going to get me with their assigners and try to put something together. Another guy out of Silver Spring, Maryland. But it was interesting because we had everybody from 18-year-old kids all the way up to 74-year-old women in the school.
Wow.
And some came with a ton of experience and they weren't looking for MLB careers at all. They were just looking to hone their skills and to bring that stuff back to their community. And then, of course, the 18 to 24-year-olds, they were all locked in trying to get like offers. And I found out really quick, being 50-year-old with kids in college and having house payments and stuff like that, climbing that ladder would be pretty difficult. I mean, the amount of money they make starting out is like 30 to 40,000, something like that.
That's nothing.
Yeah, which is a drop in the bucket to be working all summer, like 6 months out of the year, plus spring training and whatever else they have to do. But if you move up and you get up quickly, it's a chunk of change if you can become an MLB umpire, especially if you get up to crew chief or something like that. I mean, you're set for life. So I'm not going to climb that ladder. My whole end goal, even going to the school, was seeing if I could get Division I NCAA, right? That would be a dream of mine. There's a lot of schools in the Virginia, North Carolina area, a lot of conferences of different things that I could try to get involved with. But I'm going Monday night for my first local. There's a local assigner here, association that does all the high school sports in these 5 or 6 counties. So I'm going to meet with them. A friend of mine, actually, who I played baseball with in high school, was the commissioner, and he invited me on Monday night to come see what it's all about. So that's where I'm going to get started and just see what happens.
Yeah, Craig, that is from my perspective on umpiring, that is a great way to get started. That's how I got started. I actually got started called Top Gun Baseball here in Eastern North Carolina. Called Top Gun for a year. Did some youth league baseball around Winterville and Greenville, Goldsboro area. Worked my way on up into high school the next year. Worked middle school ball, JV ball. Worked my way on up into the varsity ranks. And how I got into college baseball was kind of funny. The JUCO assigner is also a high school assigner out of the Wilmington area. He was short umpires one game, and so he called my supervisor here in Goldsboro. He said, "Look, I need an umpire. I need some umpires." So he's like, "Okay." He paid us the regular booking fee for middle school, paid us extra $50 to go cover the game. So I went down to Midway Middle School, called a game down there. He came down with someone and said, "Hey, are you interested in doing some JUCO ball?" I said, "Sure, why not?" And then next thing I know, the next year, I'm on the JUCO ranks. I've called a couple games here, there, filled in every once in a while. Then finally the next year, I got a little bit more and just worked my way on up. But it's a good profession to get in, and I really wish you the best of success in it. It's really good profession. It's not you're not going to make a lot of money doing it, But it's not all about the money. It's about the kids, and that's why we get into officiating. It's not for the money, because at our level, you don't really make money until you get into that AAA major league level. Like I said, I mean, you can make major league guys make $150,000 to $200,000 a year. I mean, that's really good money. But for us, JUCO guys, high school guys, if we can make $2,000-3,000 a year, then we're doing good. So best of luck, Craig. I really wish you the best.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's an interesting thing because once you get there, you realize there's a lot of similarities between the Secret Service and umpires, and that might sound really strange, but it's a small community. The Secret Service only has 3,000 agents worldwide, right?
Right.
So they're not like an FBI.
And they both get shot at.
Right. Well, that could happen too, but they also are a small community, and if they make mistakes, right, like on certain levels, it's in the news, right? If we make mistakes, it's in the news. They have to, like, if they eject someone, they have to write a thorough, truthful report about what happened. They have to make sure that the rules are being followed everywhere they go, and they're representing their leagues, and they're making sure that everything is being followed. They're like the representative for the league when things are going down. So it's very interesting to see those parallels as they're explaining everything through the school.
And you're not the first one to tell me that, Craig. There is a lot. We have a lot of policemen, state troopers in our association, and there's something about that correlation as a uniformed officer with officiating. You deal with pressure every day,
and being able to use your voice.
You know how to handle situations, and a lot of umpiring is how to handle that situations. Sometimes, I mean, some of these coaches at our level, at the middle school, none of them know the rules.
Parents are supposed to, though, and you got
they're supposed to, but you know what? We're especially in our area. I go ahead and tell you, they don't know the rules. Heck, half the umpires don't even know the rules.
Are you saying referees and umpires don't know the rules?
Wait a minute now, Steve.
Oh, did he say that? I'm a coach, and I've been saying that for years. And
there's a lot of things when I say that. I'm going ahead and put it out there. A lot of them don't know the rules.
Yeah. I always get threatened with a
15-yard penalty, Stevie. Unsportsmanlike conduct, Stevie.
I'm just telling you, they don't look. These young kids today, they don't pick up the rule book.
Yeah,
they go.
It's interesting too, because when the school is set up in a way where, regardless of, I'm just talking about the Wendelstedt school, the one that I went to. It's set up in a way where it doesn't matter what your experiences level is. Every year they start from the bottom. So, you start basically getting in a formation and learning how to get into a stance, learning how to call an out, how they want you to call out, how they want you to call safe calls, and how that works. And then what they explain to you, which is weird, is the MLB rulebook is written over. It is not rewritten. So if I just picked up an MLB rulebook and tried to understand a rule, say, of interference or catcher's interference or obstruction, it might be referenced in the MLB MLB rulebook in 6 different places from 6 different times that something happened in a game and they wrote a new rule for it. Mm-hmm. So the way they structure the class is they pull all of that together, right? So like if they're talking about interference, for example, they might reference rule 1.068. I'm just making this stuff up. 1.068B or whatever. And it'll say interference, blah, blah, blah. And definition of terms, interference. But then there'd be a rule 4.03 that piggybacks on 1.08, and then a 7.06 that piggybacks on 4.30B. And now 1.0 whatever is obsolete, but it's still in the rule book. So trying to figure that out on your own would be absolutely horrendous. So starting with the building blocks and moving forward, it was 5 weeks of just intensive training from 9 in the morning till 6 at night. We would then leave the fields at 6 at night and have a test every night, 1 or 2 tests from 7 to 10 p.m., and then do it all again the next day, Monday through Saturday. We only had Sundays off, and the rest of it was the morning from about 9 in the morning till 10:30-ish in the classroom, going over whatever the new thing we were going to layer on for that day was. And then we were in the fields putting it into practice until the lights turned on. So it was an amazing experience, and I learned a ton, and I can't wait to put it into practice and see where I stack up against everyone else that's been umpiring for years, or if they're new as well.
Like I said, it's a grind. Like I said, my buddy who does AAA, he was calling the AA championship a couple years ago. He said that We had a 5-game series. He slept a total of probably 6 hours in that 5-game series between the travel, and he said they'll be hanging out at they get done game 11 o'clock, go back to the hotel, eat, shower. The supervisor will be down there, call them at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. They want to go to the casino, and they're expected to go to the casino. You can't just tell your supervisor, "Hey, I'm tired for the game." They want you to go because what they're trying to do is they're going to try to weed you out. Who can hang?
They're also trying to build that camaraderie. They're trying to see who's going to stick with them. I mean, that's another point that I was making about it being like a fraternity, right? They're trying to figure out the people that fit. And interestingly, almost all the umpires that we were working with, they were AAA. Some were AAA call-ups. Junior Valentine was the main instructor. He's in MLB. He's number 25.
Eddie Rapinoe, I'm sure, was down there.
Yeah. Hunter Wendelstadt took it over from his father, Harry.
Yeah.
He's 21. And then, they had their winter meeting, and then everybody showed up. So Eric Backus, John T. Payne, Mark Ripperger, Vince Scotti, Vince Caparazzi, Trip Gibson. All of these guys showed up, and then all these retired guys showed up. I think Jerry West was supposed to show up, but I think he was supposed to be there Saturday, and that snow came in.
Joe West.
And I don't think he made it down. But almost every year he gets almost half the Saturday morning for questions and answers because everybody wants to talk to him, and he brings down his West vests and books to autograph and all kinds of things. But he didn't make it down.
Tell you, Craig, something about Joe West there. Joe West actually started.
Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe West actually started in my association when he first started when he was a student at East Carolina in Greenville. He actually started he called his first game at Guy Smith Stadium.
I got to see him actually in the Secret Service. We went to a game of the Mets, and the Mets gave us tickets down by the third base.
Yeah.
And we sat down, and I look up, and who's calling third base? It was Joe West. It was awesome. I said, "Go Pirates!" And I threw him the R, and he turned and gave me a smile when he threw me.
Back. He actually came back to Goldsboro for a hot stove banking about 4 or 5 years ago. I had a chance to meet Joe. But yeah, he's a great guy. He actually does clinic for us every year, about 30, 45-minute presentation. Really good guy.
Yeah, it's interesting because the whole camp is a 2-umpire system.
Yeah.
And I know you guys might not know, but it's 2 umpires, then 3, and then 4. And then if you're in a World Series game, you'll see 6 umpires out there. Yeah. But they do it all on the basics of 2-umpire system because these guys that are, if they get the call, they're going to go down and they're going to do the backlot games of spring training. And then they're going to do rookie ball or 1A ball. And it's all a 2-umpire system. So it's really cool to learn it and just keep repping it over and over and over.
Mechanics.
Yeah, and they keep just stacking things on you, right? And the way they do it is so you don't understand it at the beginning if you don't know what umpiring is or never done it before. But the way they layer everything on top of each other, so you start out with no runners on base, right? Where do you go? Where does a plate umpire go? Where does the base umpire go? How do they react? Who reads what's going on? And then they'll put a runner on base, and then they'll start giving you catcher's interference, and then they'll start giving balks, and then they'll give you a balk on top of a catcher's interference. Then they'll give you a balk on top of catcher's interference with obstruction, and then you have to figure it out and unscrew everything and assign people the proper bases and that kind of thing. And then they start throwing out ejections and arguments and balls and strikes and all that. And so it's an amazing experience, and I can't wait to put it into practice.
Craig, what was the most, would you have, not having an umpiring background, you walk in there, it sounds like some other people didn't have a lot of umpire background too. But what was the most surprising thing you ran into that you weren't expecting at umpiring school?
I think the age of the kids. I'm walking in there as a 50-year-old retired guy, right? And seeing these, 18-year-old kids. The kid that got Student of the Year was an 18-year-old kid from Japan. He was there was a couple Japanese league umpires in our class. So they are already professional umpires in the Japanese league. And this 18-year-old kid was their translator, but he was also an umpire. And he was super polished. Watching that kid work was incredible from day one. And he actually got Student of the Year and he's 18 years old. So he's going to go down to Vero Beach, which is the new MLB prospect thing, and he's going to get his shot there. A couple other guys got that, and then because this Wendelstadt's on its way out and it's being replaced, there was like the Northwoods League was there, some independent leagues, and
Frontier League, I do believe.
Frontier, yeah. So Frontier, one of my friends, the first guy I met there, actually, he's from Maine. He grew up 30 minutes from where I was born in Maine. We just hit it off. He's 24 years old. I'm 50. We became great friends, and he was we weren't in the same crew. Like, they broke us up into crews. I wasn't in the same crew with him, but he got an appointment to the Frontier League. So he just got back to his house in Maine about an hour ago. Everybody's still texting me because I just got home, and he's going to start up in 2 weeks with the Frontier League. So I get to follow him around.
For those guys that don't know, the Frontier League is the Down East Bird Dogs.
Yep.
That'll be that group. So he'll be coming down here for that. So that's a good deal. That is a very good deal.
So and the Frontier representative was there, and he was explaining that it's a developmental thing for umpires. They have a crew chief, they get a car, a van, a crew chief, and they pay all their expenses. But they are looking for good attitudes, and they're looking for people that are willing to learn. And the crew chief teaches the younger guys throughout the season to be crew chiefs, and then they just keep working their way up, and then hopefully they at least have a connection to MLB, which is good because some of the other independents do not. Which is good for those guys.
Yeah, you got 3 or 4 partner leagues with MLB.
And Northwoods, Frontier.
Yeah,
there's 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But it was kind of sad because you saw being at the last year, like all the emotion, but also you saw it like disappearing, right? Because the way they used to do business is they would have 14 or 15 slots maybe, right? And this year I think they had 3. At least that was the rumor. And then obviously they're phased out because like in a couple weeks, I keep getting Facebook messages. I think in a couple weeks, the MLB, they have like 1-day camps that they're going to put on. And if you show up to one of those camps, it's free, I believe. You can try out, and then they can select you to go to Vero Beach. So it's just a 1-day camp, and then you get selected to go to Vero Beach to try
That's
to.
what I'd say to one of those in San Antonio. Yeah, it's pretty much just a free camp that they pretty much within the first 5 minutes of being at that camp know who they're going to select.
Right.
They pretty much in that formation when you go and safe out drills right there in that formation, they're looking at you. They've already got their 5, 6, 7, how many they're going to pick, and that's who they're going with. So
yeah, and it's interesting. That's another thing, Kyle. That is interesting. Is there was a lot of 2nd year, 3rd year students there, and I was kind of shocked at how much they didn't know. Does that make sense? So the guy that I met who's going to the Frontier League, he was a 2nd year guy, but he went when he was 20, and then he came back this year because it was the last year, and he's 24. And at the first he was a little rusty, but by the 3rd day he was back on the bike. Like that's why I surrounded myself with this guy because one, I knew it was his 2nd year, and he was a smart guy, and I could follow him. So in formation, he led a formation line because he was a 2nd year guy. I stood right in front of him. I wanted to kind of try to learn as much as I could, as fast as I could. And you could see by day 3, he was back on the bike because he had his old notebook, right? Like this is my notebook from this year. It was empty, and I only have a couple pages left, right? It's full of notes and things going on. Like it's full all the way to the back. And he had his old notebook, and then he paralleled his old notes with the new notes. And so he was in my study group, and he was smart. He's like, look, keep it small. The more people you have in your study group, the more arguments you're going to get into, because a lot of the rules are interpretive, right? It's how you look at the rule based on answering the question. And even nowadays, they still have these situations that they've never seen before. And an umpire will rule on it, and then MLB will decide if it's a good rule or not, and then they'll implement it in the book. So it's ever changing. It's so interesting to see that something, even in this day and age, could be new to MLB, right? Or any baseball game. So there was a lot of eye-opening stuff, Kyle. But yeah, the youth part of it surprised me. You know, I thought maybe I didn't realize that kids start umpiring when they're really young. You know, they can start umpiring little league games when they're, super young. So
15, 16 years old.
Right. Yeah. And some even sooner than that, depending on if their father works there or whatever. So
I took a kid, what was it, last year? He was 13 years old out there. He said,
right. So you think about that, kind of someone that's 13 comes into that school with 6 years of experience under their belt already.
Have you? Did they talk about? There's one kid. His name is Lathan, the kid umpire. I don't know if you ever seen the guy video. He's from this area.
Is that the little kid with glasses?
The little kid with glasses. He's been down to the umpire school down there.
It's funny because he's hit my Facebook algorithm like 100 times since I went to
yeah. But that's what we need in officiating. We need the young guys because the older guys are dying out. We need young guys in officiating today.
Well, you got one. You got Craig. I mean, what the hell else?
I got to tell you, like what you were saying though is like there was almost every retired person there was retired law enforcement.
Oh yeah,
or military, Navy, Marines, Charlotte Mecklenburg PD, a captain from Charlotte Mecklenburg, an undercover narcotics officer from LA Sheriff's Office. Like it was pretty cool because we had that in common too, and we were able to sit down and talk about what we had in common and how it overlaps with umpiring as well. So, yeah, it was interesting.
It's because you like enforcing rules.
Yeah, I mean that's what you're doing, right? But you're also trying to make sure that the game is fair across the board, right? Like, so what I found out real quick is there's not a lot of makeup. There aren't makeup calls, right? Like if you miss it, you own it. You missed it, right? You apologize to the manager. You apologize to the coach. Hey, if I missed it, I missed it. Nowadays they'll argue something and they'll and like Junior Valentine will go check it, right? Because they have the video. It might not be a reviewable call, but he'll tell them go check it. And if he doesn't hear from him again, he knows he was right. Right? Oh, yeah. Like on a swipe tag or on a missed call, whatever it may be. A lot of the times they'll just say go check it, right? And watching those guys, and that's what I was getting to earlier. Is using your voice, right? That's what I teach when I teach law enforcement. I said, if you have to go to anything on your Gucci belt, right? Your pepper spray, your gun, whatever it may be that you have, your taser, then your voice wasn't effective in de-escalating what was going on. Now, it's not always going to be effective if someone's high on PCP or some craziness or whatever's going on, mental health issues, right? You might have to go to your belt.
The people still
but if it's a normal situation where you can use your voice, then that's what you're going to do. You're going to de-escalate that. And I think that's the value in older like retirees coming into the umpire profession, because if someone went off on me over a call or something, I'm not going to go to 10,000 feet with them. I'm going to be super calm and be like, you either go back to the dugout or I'm sending you out. You're like,
you're going to say taser, taser, taser.
That would be amazing, right? That wasn't a strike. Taser, 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 taser.
Oh my God.
Next. So, and that's what I'm talking about, the parallels, right? Like as they were explaining it, I'm a guy that always takes my experience, and that's how I learn, right? I apply it to what I already know or some situation that I already know, and I go, oh, I have a full understanding and grasp of that concept. And that's how I did it throughout the class.
So, Alan, do you have any questions for Craig?
This has been fascinating, man. I've just been sitting here listening, absorbing. That's an incredible story. That's very impressive to go down there and do that. That takes a lot of dedication, really does.
The other thing is you need the time, right? So like the 18-year-old kids have a month to take off. The retirees have a month to take off. But I can tell you as an agent, there's no way in hell I could have taken this before I retired, unless, I used up all my leave for the year to do it.
There's a lot of time and energy spent in it. I mean, a lot of times away from family, kids. You miss birthdays, you miss anniversaries. To really get to that level, you got to sacrifice a lot. And I would say there is a lot of guys that get divorced or separated during
just like chasing
a profession like this.
I mean, Stevie, he literally could be Tommy Rich right now talking.
Right.
Yep. But like I said, I mean, it's like I said, you're gone from, if I got a game at 5 o'clock down at West Colorado or East Colorado, I'm having to leave the house at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, go down there, call a doubleheader, leave at 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm getting back at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I mean, so it's then having to get up the next morning at 5:30, 6 o'clock, go into work at 8 and do it all again. I mean, it's time consuming. It's time consuming. You got to have
the beautiful thing about the school too is you realize that these umpires are working 6-month schedules, right? So they're off 6 months, they're on 6 months, and they take a full month of their time away from that they have with their families to come down there and teach. That's how much they love the school, right? So, and then all these retired guys and all these active guys came down to show their respects to the school. I mean, it was touching to watch and to see that all the blood, sweat, and tears. And then they gave out the equipment on the last day. So like all the equipment that they've been using for years that were just in Hunter Wendelstedt's garage, he laid it out on the table, and all the kids that couldn't afford it, or even some of the older guys that didn't have it, were able to take it and bring it home with them. So cool. It was pretty amazing. And actually, I got I posted it on my Facebook, but I actually got selected with a lady who they really respected, and she's in her, I think, 70s, or mid 60s.
Oh wow!
For the final inning call on field 1 of the school. So It was me and her, and you guys might not know what this is, but it came down to, the last out of the whole entire 50-year school was a timing play at second base.
Oh no!
So, yeah, right. So I'm behind the plate. She's in the field, and they kind of set it up. Yeah, it was a base hit, and then they're like, you hear from the box. So they have box behind you where the evaluators are, and they're like, runners, 2 bases. So they're telling you, regardless of where the ball is, you're going 2 bases. And so what they're trying to do is it's going to be the 3rd out of the game. It's not a force out, and so they have to have a tag. So the ball gets thrown into second, and I'm watching the guy come from 3rd. And if he crosses the plate first, I have 1 call to make, and if he doesn't cross before the out's made, I have a different call to make. And it just so happened that he crossed first. And so she goes, he's out. And I was like, that run scores. That run scores.
There you go, Greg.
Score that run to the press box.
Bingo.
And as I turn around, it's all the MLB umps that are in the box. And Junior Valentine, the head instructor, is standing on the fence. And I just caught eyes with him. And I was like, man, this has got to suck. And he looks at me and he mouthed me, that was the last call, right? And I just, out of instinct, I don't know what I did. I just looked at him and I saluted him. And it was just a cool moment. And I was proud to be a part of that. Having 0 umpire experience and then banging out a call for the last call was pretty cool.
Bingo. There you go, Craig. Man, I have to do that.
And another thing is I don't know what I don't know, right? So I know how they teach it and how I'm supposed to enunciate and do things. So it's going to be interesting, my first high school game. And I'm like, he's out, he's still out. And I'm going to turn around and the crowd's going to be like, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
Well, let me know how that first game goes.
Right, exactly. And then the crew chief looks at me like, what's wrong with you, dude? I'm like, I'm sorry, man. That's the way I was taught to do business.
But hey, take it and soak it in. Whatever they do, you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. You'll have a lot of people trying to tell you a whole bunch of stuff. Just remember what they told you at umpire school. Take that knowledge and soak it all in, and whatever else somebody says, if you take it with what it is.
Look, I'm old enough to not care, right? Hey, I'm going to do it the way I was taught to do it, and it's going to be everybody's going to know what I'm talking about, right? And I'm just interested to get started and to stay in touch with baseball. I think that is so cool, and know that I'm going to be fair. I'm not going to pick sides. I've done that my whole career.
It is hard as an umpire to pick sides. I will tell you, ball, strikes, saves, or outs. It's the game. Everybody talks about an officiating. Well, this guy umpire screwed this, or we got the Tulsa screw job up there in football. Look, they're not out there trying to screw the game.
Look.
I know you're going to object to that, but
let me tell you this.
I've had private discussions with somebody intimately involved in that game, and I'm telling you what, that Tulsa game was.
That was
we all screw up. All right.
Let me tell you.
There was a reason, Justin.
Let me tell you something for the good of the group.
That game was specifically, we were screwed out of that game. I will text you that reason. I'm not going to say it on the air, but there is a definite reason that they made sure Tulsa won that game.
Here's another eye opener for you, Kyle. So, I'm hard on umps. That call's low or that's bad or whatever, right? So we go into cages for the first time, and cages is where they're videotaping you. They got a pitching machine, and they're throwing balls over the plate, and you're behind the plate, and you're making balls and strike calls. And they're teaching you where to put your head, how to track the ball with your eyes, not to move your head when you're watching the ball, that kind of thing. It's a lot of it's perception, right? Like if you're looking like this, then people are thinking the ball's lower or the ball's higher or whatever, based on where your head moves or that you don't know what you're doing, right? So you're supposed to keep your head super still and you're just tracking the ball with your eyes. And I can tell you, that's hard as hell. That is, and I felt so bad, doing that. I was like, holy crap, man! I've been yelling at these guys, and it is almost near damn impossible.
The first couple times, it took me a while to get used to tracking the pitches, the end of play, not moving your head, especially that ball coming into you. You think it's going to hit you, you start flinching. You'll start to flinch.
Right?
I mean, I'm just telling you, you get a 92, 93 mile an hour fastball coming right at you, like.
Yeah. And you're standing in the slot, so you're not supposed to be straight behind the catcher, right? Like you're off to the side. So there's a lot of things that I learned, and being able to listen to an MLB umpire tell me their tips and tricks on how they draw an imaginary line here, and they make sure that they're higher than the catcher so they can see the back of the plate, right? Bingo. Like things that you don't think about, when I first started, I put my head almost with my chin on the catcher's head, right? And they're like, then the guy puts his hand down. So it looks something like this. And he goes, how many fingers am I holding up? And I'm like, I can't see. He goes, yeah, you're right. He goes, how many fingers am I holding up now? And I said, I can't see it. And he's like, you're right. And then he goes, all right, stand up. And he readjusts me and he puts his hands in the same spot. And he goes, now how many fingers am I holding up? And I'm like, 2. And he's like, very well. And everybody's laughing their ass off.
That is one of the biggest concepts for new umpires is head height. Either they're too high, too low, they're too tight, they're too far back. It's a matter of finding that right position to see that inside corner, the outside corner, where that pitch is. And, in today's game, catcher framing pitches. If he moves it here, the glove goes here, then it's a ball. If it goes, so you learn that. And it takes you 3-4 years to get used to it. I mean, I'm still at 14 years of officiating and learning.
And watching catchers frame balls, it really changes the perception of the crowd, even though it was a bad pitch, right?
Guys, we're 41 minutes in here. As interesting as this is, we got to move on to switch topics.
I can talk.
Craig, you are welcome to stay, my friend, if you want to talk about ECU stuff, but we got to move on from the umpire talk.
All right, sounds good.
That'll work.
I appreciate you having me. I didn't know exactly what you wanted me to talk about, so I just tried to give you an overall of what was up.
Oh no, you're good. It's just we're trying to do the show in an hour. We got a lot more topics to take.
Pal, I've watched this show.
Thursday night. No,
I've come back 3 hours later.
We're trying not to do 3 hours Sunday night.
Don't give me that. Not tonight.
Hey, Craig, we'll do our own show one night, all right? We'll do our own show.
Craig, you're welcome. You're welcome to stay, my friend.
Dude, I'm gonna go spend some quality time with the wife since I haven't seen her in 5 weeks, and I will let you guys have a great rest of your show. I appreciate you having me on, seriously, and I appreciate the back and forth with a 14-year ump versus a 0 ump, and I look forward to seeing where this takes me, and I wish you all the best of luck with your podcast here.
Hey, thanks, Craig. I'm waiting for the minute. I'm waiting for the moment that you go jaw to jaw with Cliff. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I want to see.
I wouldn't. I'd be like,
I wouldn't either. But Craig,
you know the rule. Time to go.
Hey, Craig, how can people get in touch with you in case that was my question I was trying to ask you before we get out of here? How can people reach you as far as if they want to if they want you to umpire a game? Easy for me to say.
I think I'm going to leave that to the assigners and see. Okay. So talk to them because I don't know exactly how all that stuff works, but I know
I'll be in touch with you sometime.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that. So
I got some contacts you can have as well.
Awesome. And you might know some of the guys that I was in school with because they're from Greensboro and Charlotte. So
Dusty Dillinger,
Craig, do you have any social media you do want to promote?
Not outside of this group, no.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah. If you have it, you have it. All right, guys.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks, Greg.
Have a great one. Take care, boys.
All right.
Y'all made me be the bad guy here. I mean, my God.
Well, I was trying. Wildfire. I'll tell you one thing. Justin's going to run for the damn Senate because I was trying really hard, like 15, 20 minutes ago, and Wildfire was filibustering. I was like trying so hard.
Hey, look, I can talk umpire all day long, guys. I'm just saying.
I can tell.
Hey, I'm saying if you want me and Craig to do just a show on officiating, bring it on.
All right, we'll have that on. Yeah, we'll have that on another podcast. But
I mean, that might not be a bad idea during the baseball season.
Craig clearly he did a great job. I mean, he's a great speaker.
Craig. I'm sure Craig will listen to this. Somebody get it to him. I hope Craig didn't think I was being rude. But we on Thursday nights We're trying to keep it to an hour and 15 minutes, unlike our Sunday night show. And
but we're doing a double show tonight. We're doing Thursday and Sunday.
Yeah. Well, good point. Well, let's get him back on and talk umpiring more.
No, I'm saying so. We really are stressed for time tonight.
Yeah. So, Alan, I have to say this too, that we're going to talk more about it. But I'll tell you one thing: there were a lot. My social media was blowing up last night. We're going to be talking, and after baseball, I'm going to preview. We'll have stuff about NASCAR. We got ECU basketball, men's and women's. We've got some football news. We got a whole bunch. That's going to be our. And then after that, we have Johnny Stats has outdone himself, by the way, guys. We have Super Bowl trivia. We got a whole bunch of stuff for the Super Bowl.
No.
We'll give our Super Bowl picks, and then we'll get the hell out of here. So that's the one thing we're going to do.
So join us, folks, as we bring in Friday.
Right. Yeah, we'll be here. Yeah, Stevie's going to be with us until about 3 a.m. and then he's got to
Steve's going to be with us about another 10 minutes.
Right. You can be up here at 3 a.m. Dave. This boy ain't going to be there.
No, I do want you for the Super Bowl stuff, so I hate that. That was one of the things I was trying to. Anyway.
All right, well, let's get into the Super Bowl talk. We'll work backwards. So we'll jump into the Super Bowl.
I think that's a good idea, Kyle. And I haven't outdone myself because I'm not an NFL guy, but I have a couple interesting things. But my first question about the Super Bowl was to Stevie. I'm assuming you're rooting big time for the Seahawks?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured you would be. Tell everybody why are you rooting for Seattle?
But look, there was an intense. I guess hatred's a strong word for the Patriots during the Brady, Belichick years because, well, Steelers couldn't get past them, whether it was Spygate or whatever you want to say. It's not as bad as it used to be, but I still can't pull for the Patriots. I don't care. Just like on my show a while ago, Kyle made the comment about if Holton Ahlers was starting quarterback for the Patriots, would I be pulling for him? And I said, no, I would not be pulling for him. I would like to see Holton do well, but I would not be pulling for the Patriots. It's just like
that's hate. That is hate.
It's just like Keaton Mitchell playing for the Ravens.
Yeah, but I don't put Keaton Mitchell in the same category as Holton Ahlers. I love Keaton, but Holton's love for ECU, and then we he's a guest on the podcast. It's a little different. But go ahead.
Well, I will pull for Holton to have a good game, and if they win, I'm happy for Holton. But I'm not happy for the other 50 or 60 players on the team.
Yeah, and to be clear, he's not the starting quarterback for the Patriots.
That's what I was ready to ask. When did that happen? Drake May has been benched. We're bringing in this quarterback who is never.
Stevie, am I wrong, or isn't this like a race to 7? Aren't the Patriots and Steelers tied at 6?
Yes, but that's not the main reason I'm pulling against the Patriots. I mean, if they get to 7, that's okay. We've been behind before. We'll catch back up. But it's just the Patriots. The Patriots. I can't do it. I can't pull for the Ravens.
Yes. I like their coach.
I do like Vrabel. Vrabel is a great
Stevie and Dave, you guys watch the NFL the most. Justin, are you an NFL guy?
Not really, Kyle. I watch it on Sunday, but yeah.
Alan watches it too.
Oh yeah.
All right. Between you, so you three, we'll start with Stevie. You said who you want to win, who you're cheering for. Who do you actually think is going to win and why?
Oh, if they play the way they've been playing throughout the playoffs, Seattle will win, and I'm thinking by 2 scores. Their defense is flies all over the field. They like to hit, and they like to hit hard. They love contact. This is one of those defenses that I think could be a special defense in the UConn if they can keep it together. And I will say this, and this is we're not here to make Carolina football fans happy, but Drake May, you look at his performance in the playoffs, besides picking up a few key first downs in that last game, he's been very mediocre. I mean, 2 interceptions, 4 fumbles that he's had. If in the Houston game, in the first playoff game, if Houston had any of the other 31 quarterbacks playing for their team besides C.J. Stroud, the Patriots will be sitting at home watching the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
All right, so Seahawks. Dave, who you got?
Definitely Seahawks.
Any reason why?
They're by far. I was telling Alex, my son, about a week ago. They have, whenever they punch their ticket in, it's like I knew they were good. I'm not trying to say I didn't think they were good, but quietly they put together. You have to go. I think the reason why they're going to win is because this team is like a well-oiled machine. It was the GM, and I'm going to be like Kyle now. His name escapes me right now. I was talking about Johnny. We were talking about that earlier before.
Sam Darnold?
No, the GM, the general manager.
Oh. Who?
For Seattle.
Seahawks.
Oh.
Anyway, I was trying to give kudos. The general manager for the Seahawks has put together a great. I mean, they are loaded, and that doesn't mean they're going to win. But if you're asking me, like, who I think they should win. So,
guys, you listen to Sam Darnold. His quarterback rating in the playoffs is 122.4. That's the fourth highest in a postseason going into.
I did not know that.
That's impressive.
Yeah, he's the reason I'm rooting for Seattle.
For a guy to come from being with the Jets, which that's a whole nother story. If you're playing for the Jets, then you're in trouble.
The Vikings. Why did and Vikings? It makes no sense. Why the Vikings?
I'll tell you a story about that too, Dave. But Sam Darnold with the Jets struggled, and actually told his coach, "I'm seeing ghosts on the field." That's why he was throwing interceptions. I mean, when you say that, I figured that was it. Sam Darnold's done. It will be a backup holding the clipboard for the rest of his career.
Well, did anybody get a damn it, would have been funny if I could have got it out. Did anybody get one of those EMT? Not EMT. God dang it! I screwed up my own joke.
Yeah, well, you got
it. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm still laughing for some reason, though.
They screwed it up. That's why.
Electronic, the damn little meter things where you tell if there's ghosts around.
Oh, yeah.
Ghostbuster stuff.
EVPs or whatever they are.
EVT, electronic voice phenomenon.
I don't know what it's called.
Did anybody get one of those out and make sure there was no ghost on the field? I mean,
I don't know.
It's
Anyway.
Possible. Does Bruce Willis talk to him? Maybe he does.
Bruce Willis. Oh yeah, I see dead people.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a quick question for you, Stevie.
Yes.
If Seattle has the best defense in the NFL, which I believe they do, who's number 2?
They're not in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they are. It's the Patriots. They're absolutely the second best.
I don't think the Patriots is. Honestly.
In every stat, they're like one of those teams is number 1 and one is number 2 in almost every defensive stat.
I'll tell you this, Johnny. As far as watching them defenses play this year, the team that the Patriots beat had the second best defense in the NFL, the Denver Broncos. I think if
not based on the fact that the Patriots beat them.
Well, if you had your starting quarterback in the game,
that sounds like an excuse to me.
Well, I'm not a Broncos fan at all.
Sounds like you are.
I know I'm not. Well, I'm not. Don't get defensive, Kyle. But yeah, if Bo
I don't
Nix
think I'm the one getting defensive.
If Bo Nix is starting in that game, that's another game. I think the Patriots.
I got the best defense.
I agree with you, Stevie.
I'm trying to get on Stevie's nerves.
I know, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
It's not.
I actually played against a guy that actually plays for the Seattle Seahawks back when I was in high school. Actually, his name was Jerry Reed from Goldsboro High School.
Jerry Reed.
Jerry.
Snowman.
Jerry Reed.
Jerry Reed. How about that? The Snowman. All right.
The Guitar Man.
Eastbound and down.
But Dave, you were talking about Darnold with the Vikings earlier. Sam Darnold with the Vikings last year won 13 games.
I'm like, what the hell are you not bringing him back for?
And the Vikings had J.J. McCarthy as their number 1, their first round pick last year.
Yeah.
McCarthy gets injured. There was a story come out this week that the Vikings were close to trading McCarthy to the Raiders, and they would have kept Sam, or tried to keep Darnold there. but they backed out of it, said they were going to go with McCarthy. You talk about Vikings fans out there, and no coincidence, the Vikings GM got fired as soon as the season was over with.
Yeah, because you know what? The record difference was extreme, and the personnel difference was not extreme. Like, they didn't have a huge turnover. It was just Darnold was gone.
Just Darnold.
Oh.
Yeah, and that.
I was going around the horn here. Alan Vick, the other NFL expert here. Who do you like in the Super Bowl and why?
I like Seattle. You guys have brought up most of the points. Sam Darnold is playing out of his mind, and the defense is good. Darnold is a great game manager.
Yes.
He's not flashy, but he makes the throws when they're necessary. Former Carolina Panther, Sam Darnold, by the way.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, I think Seattle's a 10-point favorite for me in the game.
At least.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that one of the reasons why I'm pulling for Seattle is that very thing. He's a journeyman. I think that's what you would call him. And he's the kind of guy I was trying to think, the first Ravens Super Bowl win.
Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trent Dilfer.
Dilfer was a game manager.
Yeah, look at Mark Rippon for Washington back in the day.
Absolutely. Brad Johnson.
I'll tell you this. Mark Rippon lit it up that year. Yep. I mean, he lit it up that year. Now, Brad Johnson, you talk about Brad Johnson, that was another what you would call game manager there. He wasn't flashy or anything, but he got the job done. And it didn't hurt that the Buccaneers had that great defense that year. Just like with Trent Dilfer with the Ravens. I mean, that was one of probably the top 10 defenses in NFL history right there. But
Brad Johnson,
as much as I hate to admit that.
I have an interesting Mark Rippon nugget. My sister bought me a pair of cowboy boots at a yard sale that the Rippons were having, and so I'm wearing Mark Rippon's cowboy boots occasionally. So I got that going for me.
Trying to fill Mark Rippon's shoes, literally.
I could never fit in his shoes. That dude was amazing. He was really fun to watch back when they were the Redskins, Dave, and I rooted for him.
They had the posse, Ricky Sanders, Gary Clark, and Art Monk.
My goodness.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Three wide receivers go over 1,000 yards in 1 year. That was incredible.
Yes, sir. And they're going to, by 2030, guys, if I can make it that long, they will have a brand new stadium inside of DC where RFK used to be, and it's going to be awesome. So
amazing what they've done with that. The architecture, it looks like RFK, but much, much more modern.
RFK.
I'll be going there for sure.
And Alan Vick, I hope that you'll come up here with me, obviously.
I'm ready. I am ready. Yes, sir.
Okay. I got one reason why you should be worried if you're a Seahawks fan. And that is, it's hard to argue with. 15 of the last 18 Super Bowl winners were wearing white jerseys. Now the Patriots, they're taking it a step further. They're wearing white jerseys, white pants. They're not taking any chances. So, that goes their way. But here's the other, a weird Super Bowl stat for the Patriots. This century, they've played in 9 Super Bowls. They've scored 3 points in the first quarter and 102 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's unfathomable. So if, it's different players now, different coaches.
Well,
but that stat is just too weird not to mention. 3 points in the first quarter, 102 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, ask the Atlanta Falcons about that.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Falcons go up 28-3 and are outscored 31-0 in the second half.
Yeah, just amazing.
And let's not talk about who was the coach for the Falcons that year. So
who was that, Dave?
Dan Quinn. Thank you very much. I will say this. I'm very upset with Quinn about getting rid of Kingsbury. Kingsbury is an offensive mind, offensive genius. That was a bad mistake.
I honestly think, Dave, that he was going to leave on his own. I think he'd had a lot of offers, but I haven't seen him take anything.
Where did he go? Where's Kingsbury at?
He's not anywhere yet, but
no.
To me, Kingsbury's offense fits better in the college game, and I mean, maybe I don't think he's going to stay in the league, but
I'll tell you this: he did it. Their offense was really strong when Jaden Daniels' rookie year. And Daniels was hurt a lot this year.
Yeah. It's like Dave. It's like we're reliving RG3 all over again.
Yeah, it is. The Shanahans. I will never forgive Mike Shanahan for keeping. We were up 4. So speaking of the Seahawks, I have no love really for the Seahawks. They beat us a couple times in the playoffs, and the RG3 year was like 2013, I believe. That year we had a really good team, and we're up 14-0. Shanahan leaves him in when you have our good buddy Alan Vick's best friend Kirk Cousins, and they could have put Kirk Cousins in and managed that game, and we would have had a chance to win that game. Instead, that pretty much ruined RG3's career.
Yeah, that was the 2012 season going into 2013. Just what can you say? Just some guys are just injury prone, and I love Jaden Daniels, but I'm just so concerned about his frame and his fragility. He's a great athlete, but man, he needs some meat on his bone.
Yeah,
or he's gonna have a short career in the NFL, I'm afraid.
So he's gonna have a microphone in front of his face before long.
I hope I'm wrong, but I mean, I love him, but I'm afraid that frame just does not get it done for longevity in the NFL. It just doesn't.
Yeah, no doubt. And Stevie, do you have Stevie? Listen to me, Johnny. Do you have any Super Bowl trivia for us? We have.
No, I'm not. No, I just had those two. No, I told you I'm not an NFL guy, Dave. I was prepared for baseball. No. I was prepared for a baseball Thursday, and then Dave reminded me very late before the show that we're not having a show on Sunday to talk. And so it escaped me that the Super Bowl was even this Sunday. So yeah, no, I just have those two stats no, I don't have any trivia. I think we got so much to cover.
So
we don't have much more to say about the Super Bowl.
So switching gears from Super Bowl, as we brought at the beginning of the show with Mr. Beast. Nobody really knows anything. It's all speculation at this point. But if everybody, if you had to guess, how soon do you think you're going to hear, yes, this is happening, no, this ain't happening? Or this is happening to a degree?
I think sooner than later, just because of what you said. There's going to have to be some. Yeah. Mr. Beast himself has to speak on this at some point soon, in my opinion.
Igo said that there's a supposed meeting planned between ECU officials and Mr. Beast about this.
Next week.
Yeah. Blake Harrell's supposed to be in the room, along with the other, the people you would think. So, I would let Blake do most of this talking. I'm sorry, but if I was maybe John Gilbert, I guess Stevie's gone. Maybe John Gilbert's this charismatic enigma that I'm really not aware of, or anybody else that may be in that room. But I think I'd let Blake do this pitch. I believe I would. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not.
Definitely. I think you had to. When you're looking at Blake Harrell is a really good coach. He's very underrated. I think we could have a situation, if it is true. I think there's some validity to it. I thought that at first it was kind of like AI, like it was clickbait.
Yeah.
But I think there's we have all of us have sources at the Ward Sports Medicine building who are telling us from different angles that there's something. I was just say that there's definitely smoke, like the
there smoke, yeah, purple smoke, yeah,
purple smoke.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's purple haze, but it's purple smoke, and we'll see how if it's true.
Yeah, and the reason I say Blake, I would let him do the pitch is I think Blake's very engaging, and maybe Mr. Beast deals with all kinds of people in the business world, so maybe he's used to the more drawn up professional, but I think Blake, could sell him on it. And Beast Carolina, yeah. I mean, that's
those t-shirts, baby.
I mean, it just rolls off the tongue. The Beast of the East, Beast Carolina. I wouldn't be opposed to doing a Mr. Beast uniform, with his blue and pink colors. I mean, for a game. I mean, it's it won't be this season, or I guess it could start this season but the monies wouldn't kick in until the next portal cycle. But so it wouldn't be. I don't think the hype would start this season because it's too late. You're not going to be competing for a national championship on paper this season. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this. How much he's truly going to give. Yeah, I think he's going to have. I know he doesn't have to, but I think he's going to end up giving something. Again, what will the level of commitment be? Will it be 100 million? Will it be 50 million? Will it be an ongoing thing? Will he just say, "I'm going to be your T-Boone Pickens. I'm going to help East Carolina University football grow"?
He's from Greenville.
I know, Dave.
And I think Greenville guys. I don't know if you guys feel this way. Like I go back to this past summer. Mr. Beast is the biggest celebrity on the internet celebrity. And people will realize he's in Greenville, even though he doesn't go around saying I'm in Greenville. People realize it. And then you had the Sports Center coverage multiple times from Sup Dogs in Greenville this year, and then Fox News was in Greenville all week, or the first part of the last weekend, first part of the week, covering the snowstorm, showing downtown Greenville, showing ECU. I feel like Greenville is kind of getting a little national pub, kind of becoming for lack of a better term, an it city. You've had these cities in the different hot towns in the past. They've happened in North Carolina. The mid '90s triangle boom. Then Wilmington's been booming in recent years.
Inexpensive, very expensive.
I think Greenville could be on the upswing nationally, and I think that only helps ECU and Mr. Beast wanting to invest in ECU.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think it's more than money. I don't think he's just going to dump a bunch of money. I think it's going to be his involvement, and that's the part that I look forward to is commitment to like the educational part of it, and it just to boost ECU, the university, the med school, everything's going to be affected.
Well, he's got such a fan base, JR.
Yeah.
You just tie it directly to football. How many people are going, that don't care about athletics or loosely care about athletics because they're Mr. Beast fans, kids, especially kids and teenagers, and that's enrollment at ECU. You get these kids and these teenagers that love Mr. Beast. I want to go to ECU. So, or just come or follow the football program. How much would the ratings go up? I mean, I'm telling you, it could be a really big thing for East Carolina University.
No doubt.
Jimmy is a businessman. He's smart. He's going to if he does this, he's going to find a way to monetize it for himself as well. He can do some of this out of the kindness of his heart, which is great, but he's looking at Mr. Beast Incorporated with everything he does.
Yeah, no doubt. And I do think it would bring a lot of attention to his brand because I think it would get a lot of ESPN Sports Center type attention. It would get during next college football season. Yeah, we'll get to Jeff Traylor. During next college football season, if he really invests, if we have a Texas Tech type roster, for example, it's going to be talked about. It'll be one of the hot topics next football, not the 26 football season, but the 27 football season. It would be one of the hot topics leading to the season. It would be talked about nonstop on ESPN. That East Carolina University, with Mr. Beast backing, has the highest paid or one of the highest paid rosters in college football. You don't think that's going to be talked about every 5 seconds on SportsCenter, on College Football Live, on every college football platform you could think of, and check the ratings. College football, despite people hating the current game because of the portal, et cetera, ratings were through the roof this year, and Mr. Beast knows that. So what you're saying, Alan, is monetizing it. Well, when you have bowl games and national championship games setting records, he probably sees how college football is hot on in terms of the ratings. So there you go.
Yeah, we had Kyle. We had the guy, I can't think of his name, the CEO of the Barbecue Bowl. Well, in Greenville, North Carolina, we can have the Beast Bowl.
Yeah, I don't. Let's worry about ECU football.
Let's
worry about ECU football. We'll worry about the Beast Bowl later. I'll tell you what the Beast Bowl will be, Dave, when we're toasting the first round of the playoffs. How about that? Jeff Traylor. Somebody wanted to talk about Jeff Traylor. I need to go watch the whole clip. I just read the comments of it. But, he apparently in a press conference, and by the way, what the hell is he having a press conference right now for? That's another just odd thing in itself. It says something to the effect of that was his idea. He had thought of that. Now East Carolina's stealing it. He talked about doing a reality show and they give everybody access to the. JR, did anybody watch the whole clip?
No, I couldn't stomach it, Kyle. Plus, I was very busy.
I was on both.
It was at his, I think it was at his signing day press conference where he announced his 20 additions to his class, 2026 class yesterday. I watched part of it. And pretty much he referenced it was his idea first, that he would, open up pretty much the same thing, open up the facilities, and we stole
Mr.
his
Beast
idea.
doesn't live in San Antonio.
Why not have this stupid
Hey, Jeff Traylor, you have the damn Alamo. Okay, you have the damn Alamo. We have Mr. Beast. So
here's the problem with Jeff. Here's the problem. Well, we don't have Mr. Beast yet, but here's the problem with Jeff Traylor trash. And I call him Traylor trash. Keep that in mind. It's a play on words. I live in a manufactured home. I don't, so nobody get offended about that. So Jeff Traylor trash. Look, here's the thing, and this is the reality of why his frustration is blooming so much in recent years, last 2 years. UTSA was a red-hot football program. It was basically an expansion team. The folks in San Antonio were behind it. And when they were winning Conference USA, well, it hasn't translated into the American. They're not winning the American. And they don't have a rabid, diehard fan base. They draw okay for the Superdome, but they don't have the administration. Yeah, the Alamo Dome. The administration is committed to football, but they don't. He's talking about fundraising. They got a fundraiser. They don't have the donor base because they don't have the history in football. And rev share and NIL is killing them right now, and they're falling behind North Texas, who they were ahead because North Texas. Look, man, North Texas football's been around for forever. Stone Cold Steve Austin played college football at North Texas. They've got rich alums, huh?
Wasn't it North Texas State back?
It was, yes. So you got Stone. In fact, this is a wrestling rich. Kerry Von Erich and Kevin Von Erich also both played there. So there's a lot of they've got money going back. They've been playing football for forever. UTSA doesn't, and I think it's really starting to frustrate Jeff Traylor, and he sees his program falling behind because of that.
I thought that Wildfire Justin Butts played there, but
he did not. He played at Georgia Southern, but Stevie would have really liked that.
You know who else played at West Texas State? Tully Blanchard.
West Texas State's a different school.
That's right. I'm sorry. You're right, but that is you said
a bunch of football players played at West Texas State. Yeah, a bunch of football players played at West Texas. Yep. A bunch of wrestlers played at West Texas State.
Yep.
I believe Dusty played at West Texas.
He did. Virgil did. He did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Virgil Reynolds. But I think anyway. I think that's UTSA's biggest problem is Jeff Traylor sees his program financially following behind North Texas, etc. And I think he's panicking. And he's a jerk. I'll tell you what Jeff Traylor is. He's a Texas high school football coach. He's a redneck, and he's I didn't have a problem with him until this year, and not because they blew us out, but because his fake motivation for blowing us out of we were roughed up their quarterback, which is bullshit. And now he's taking shot. I mean, why even bring that up? And Jeff Traylor again, it was my idea. I had this idea 3 years ago. So, you just stole it from me, Jeff Traylor.
There you go. Well, Alex, he's making enemies with all kinds of coaches around the American. Alex Golish is gone now, but they got into it after USF beat them.
Yeah, and the Army head coach got into it.
Exactly. I was going there next, Kyle. And also the John Summerall didn't care for called him a cheater.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, guys, there is my understanding, I don't know if you guys heard, there is an investigation going on, and you guys were talking about Spygate earlier. Well, we have the NCAA Spygate investigation going on because there's no way, and I've said this, there's no way in the world that you can know every single play. And
is it really? Is UTSA actually being investigated? Or are you just saying that?
I've heard that. Yes,
I've heard that rumor too. I've heard that rumor too.
Well, I haven't heard the rumor, but if
it's something about the FBI was involved with the communication because they use, from what I've been told, they use a different communication
yes,
system.
I've heard that. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They do. They use a different than everybody else in the American. But well, you would think Jeff Travis would be nervous about that.
Well, we could hire Craig Doucette to do an investigation for us. He'd get to the root of the problem.
And he would tell Jeff Traylor, "You're out."
Well, Traylor needs to be nervous because his record has been 7-6 the last 3 years or something like that. So
you're right.
Yeah, so
I wish he was coming to Greenville this year. God, I wish we were playing.
And Allen, the baseball team is doing things, beating Texas, and so yeah, he's like second fiddle now, and he's not liking that one bit.
He's got and that's the thing, he's got a huge ego. Not that none of us on the show don't, or coaches don't, but you're right, Kyle. He's a really, I know the old people would say he's a really odd bird. He's really, really like to be. Basically, you're the CEO of the program, and he's acting more. He's acting more like a wrestler. Actually, he's acting like he's cutting promos, and he's going to be.
And there's nothing wrong with that in itself. It's just, why are you starting? Why are you starting crap with? I mean, what do you think that's going to get you by saying that? Right. Mr. Beast is going to go, well, you know what, Jeff Traylor, you're right. I'm going to come to UTSA instead. I mean, what do you think that's going to get you? I don't know what you hope to accomplish with that. To me, it's South Carolina fans. If you went, somebody posted a link. South Carolina fans were getting all upset when they heard about Mr. Beast might be helping us out. It's hate, man. It's amazing. Like, it hadn't happened yet. If it actually happens, all these people that are going to be hating us, this is going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
Indiana won the national.
Anybody can do it. Anybody.
Everybody's got a price.
There you go, Kyle. Are you the $1 million man now?
No, I wish. So,
Kyle,
and I'll say this about Blake Harrell. If Mr. Beast does back the football program, I don't see Blake going out and putting together the most expensive roster in college football. I don't see him doing that. He didn't win Texas Tech national championship. I see him taking the approach Indiana took. He's going to get the best players he can, and he'll be able to pick and choose. But he's going to get guys that fit the program and fit the culture and want to be part of a team and a vision. I don't think Blake, even with that kind of money, is just going to go take every top prospect he can out there. I think he'll take the people that's going to fit his culture and his program.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Justin sent out a text in the group chat about Joel Hancock, and that's pretty much what he said. Is that this is about commitment, not about 1 year paying somebody big 1 year. Yeah. No, it's about buying into the program and committing long term. And I love that approach.
That's what I'd much rather see. Yeah. From Mr. Beast versus a Texas Tech 2025 type deal. I mean, I'll take it. If he wants to put it all on one season and see what happens, I'll take it. But I would rather see, I'm committed to the program. We're going to have long-term success here. We're going to build a dynasty. We're going to win the American every year, and every year that's going to put us in position to win the playoffs. Although I would take that one really special season to have a chance to win the national championship. So either one, Mr. Beast, whichever you prefer.
Yeah.
I think that the fact that Mr. Beast, if we're going to have Mr. Beast, I think that we need to have him for a long period of time. And I'll tell you, I was just thinking about guys, you think about that kind of money. Kyle, you were talking about South Carolina.
Yeah.
All the triangle schools in the ACC are going to freak out.
Oh, well, some will. Carolina won't, because they'll still think that, whatever. But State will probably be balling. If that happens, State fans will just be in a nervous breakdown. They won't be able to handle it. But I just wanted to sing a little song here, really fast.
Okay.
And this is maybe Mr. Beast, Jimmy, if I may be so bold. If you commit to East Carolina, you'll get to hear this on a regular basis. Are you ready, gentlemen? Are you ready?
Hey, Kyle just put a thought in my head.
Wait a minute, JR. Wait a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm doing this for Mr. Beast.
Oh, okay.
This is for Jimmy.
Everybody say for Jimmy.
Cheer for Beast Carolina. Cheer for old BC. We know we're the finest. Onward to Beastery. Go Pirates. Cheer for Beast Carolina. Cheer for old BC. Loyal and bold. We're the pink and blue. We are the Pirates of Mr. Beast. Hey!
Clip that.
I like it.
Gallon forever, baby.
I'll tell you what I was going to say, Kyle, also, when you think about this generation, one of the things they like is uniforms. You were talking about, can you imagine the uniforms we would have?
Pink, we'd have to do a pink and blue Mr. Beast uniform, yeah.
We've got to do that. We've got to do that. I would love to see it.
I'd be fine with it. If he puts that kind of money in, we'll put the logo on the helmet.
One time.
We'll Beast Carolina.
One season. Once.
I'd wear it the entire damn year, JR, if he awesome.
John White and my Jim Rome voice, rack that.
Hey, Kyle, I was going to say you put an idea in my head, because if this does come to fruition, I will definitely be tuning in to Locked On Wolfpack just to listen to the meltdown from those idiots.
Because no kidding. Yeah, it'll be epic. It'll be epic.
I know. Well, the biggest thing is, like I was saying, is that the irony of the whole thing is that we should be in the ACC, but they won't allow us to be in the ACC. They want to keep us down. And then,
we don't deserve it, Dave. I mean, we got to get our basketball program up to snuff.
Well, let's talk. Let me ask you guys this. I know that football, Kyle and he knows how much I love the football program. I'm not taking away anything from the football program. But Johnny, you're absolutely right. So Kyle, not saying that we're not spending money on football. We're going to spend a lot of money on football. Okay. How do you, I'm going to make Kyle Barber the AD.
How do I pitch Mr. Beast to invest in the basketball?
No. Well, I'm just going to say, how do you, let's say that you're the AD, you have the $100 million.
Sure.
We're going to spend a lot of money on football. I'm not saying so fans don't think that I'm hating on football or making it sport versus sport. How do you fix men's basketball?
Well, there's two ways to approach this. First of all, all that $100 million can go to football. If it's truly $100 million, let's just pretend that it is, and it's all going to football. Well, then that frees up a lot of other money actually to spend on basketball and other sports. Mr. Beast has just invested $100 million into football, so now you've got other money you've freed up to invest into basketball. So that's how I fix basketball. Unless Schwartz turns it around here the second half of the year and continues, you just upset Florida Atlantic. Who knows? We may get hot, not lose another game, and go win the conference tournament. But unless something like that happens, or we just play really well down the stretch and it's clear we're headed in the right direction, you gotta you gotta make. I want to hire a up and it seems like we've never done this, except with Dooley, and he was a retread. Go out there, find a coach at a low major or a mid major. I hate this term. That's winning at a high level, that we can pay a lot more money than what he's making. That's got an outgoing personality that gets people fired up, and get him in here. And then if we have this money from Mr. Beast, then you have other money that you would normally invest into football and baseball, et cetera. You can put that towards basketball, and because Beast has funded football now, and you put together a good roster. I think it's that simple. I mean, you hire a good coach, that can motivate not only the players but the fan base, and then you have extra money to spend on good players. I think that's pretty much the formula for anybody.
Let's get Casey Alexander from Belmont. That dude does nothing but win, and I would love to have him come to Greenville. I mean, we have a coach right now. I realize that we have a coach. I'm just saying.
Yeah, somebody like that would be fantastic. I don't know what his personality's like, but it's just based on
you'd like him, Kyle.
Good. I'll look for some interviews of him.
The problem is at the end of the year, there's 100 other programs that are in the same boat that we are. and for whatever reason, ECU is just not and I disagree wholeheartedly, but ECU is just not an attractive package for a young up and coming.
Well, we had the opportunity, Alan. We had Coach Odom secured when he was at Maryland, whatever the hell school that was, right after he was at UVA. Now he's the head coach at UVA. We had him. He was going to be our head coach.
His dad, Dave Odom, was a coach.
Yeah, we had him, and that was the one decision I agreed with Jeff Confer on. And then we fired Confer and made the decision to bring back Coach Dooley. And, whatever, you think of that. But I think we can get a young, Belmont has, they've had good basketball. I'll get the sport right eventually. Good basketball programs there in Nashville over the years. But, there's a lot of schools out there, I don't know how high the Belmont head coach would be on a Kentucky or a Georgia Tech or, their wish list. But you go look at a lot of these low majors, mid majors, and there's definitely head coaches out there that we could get that would love to come to East Carolina for a pay raise. And, we just – I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you, Alan, to a point on some of that. But I do definitely think, particularly in this fictitious scenario where Mr. Beast has committed this money and we know that money's going to football, so now we can tell our new basketball coach, hey, we're going to have some money freed up that we can invest in basketball.
Yeah, that's what you were reading my mind on that. And what do you guys think about Johnny's right, though. If let's say hypothetically speaking that we were to get in a bigger conference, we've got to have men's basketball at a much higher level. And again, I've said this all along, I'm not being delusional to say that we're going to be competing for national championships. So don't get me wrong, but I do think that we should be competitive. I do think we should be the upper echelon of the American every single year. I do think
I agree. We should be in the top half of the American, and I know I want a coach to scream at the top of his lungs and make me want to go to the games. Now you're gonna have to win because I'm just not that big of a basketball guy to make me want to go.
Yeah.
But who is the guy out there just going, hey, mother truckers, that show up for all these football games and are so passionate about basketball? Get your asses in here for basketball. You show up for football. You show up for baseball. Take your Duke and your Carolina pair off there. Call fans out. I want to hear a basketball coach just be livid that, I'm putting a product out here on the court, and it's going to have to be a good product to be able to say this. And we got 50,000, 40,000, 50,000 fans showing up for football, and I can't get 7,000 people to fill up Minji's Coliseum. I want a coach that has the guts to say that has the passion to say that, but most of all is putting the product on the court that he can say that.
You also need someone in the administration to say that.
Yes. Oh, God almighty, Alan, you're preaching to the choir there.
No. Hey, what he has done, though, he did give away free drinks for the first 500 students at the Rice game.
Temple.
And that was good. Now for Temple, he's going to give away a $20 I think Brett is participating in this. I don't think that Coach Schwartz is coming out of pocket for it, but for the first 500. And if you've ever, people that have never been to a game at Minji's, even when they're not good, when they win, it's a fun event. Like it really is.
We've got to win more. The place is packed and we're rocking and rolling. It's probably the loudest environment I've ever been in.
Yeah, well, especially when you have courtside seats, Justin.
You go back and look at the Houston when we were playing Houston, Memphis, and those games are out there on national. When Houston came in, they were ranked top 3 or 4. That place was rock and roll. Minji's is a fun place to watch.
I agree.
I went to one game last year. It was a close loss to Florida Atlantic in Greenville with Dave, and I had a good time. Also, I'm in a unique situation, honestly, because when I watch games, I want to be able to see the scoreboard to watch it with my binoculars so I can see it as clear as possible. And Dave's seats were allowed that. I don't know, honestly, why I don't go to more basketball games because I do enjoy it when I do go. Part of it's because I'm not a big basketball guy in general, and we suck.
Yeah.
Now, when we
the
had
best
run,
time I've ever had basketball wise was that CIT tournament.
I was there for every game. That I did go to every single game.
I'm gonna tell you, that was fun.
It was a blast. Yep. When you get my ass there for every game, I had Carolina Hurricanes tickets the night of the semifinals in at Minges, and I sold them because I weren't gonna miss the game. I had so much fun at the other ones I went to, and that was a blast. That CIT run was.
I can remember I was staying in Greenville at the time, and Sub Dolls was packed, all the bars were packed that night. And when Keem Richmond hit
Weber
that three,
State.
You would have thought we would won the national championship that night.
Exactly.
Cars were going on, people were running in the streets, going crazy. It was a freaking blast, and that just was a small glimpse of what East Carolina basketball can be.
Yeah, remember what was on during the Harrion years? You beat Marquette.
Yeah.
Beat Louisville. You beat.
There you go. Now with Dwayne Wade was with Marquette, all them guys coming in there. Oh yeah.
I don't. You felt like you were back then. It felt like the basketball program was building. It was trending up, and then it never did. And I think that's what's happened. I don't even know if complacency is the right word, but nobody really believes this basketball apathy. I don't even know if apathy is right, Dave. Nobody believes this basketball program can do anything. And that's what I said. We got to get somebody in here. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think Coach, and I hope Coach Schwartz wins out and we make the NCAA tournament. But we need somebody in here that can fire the fan base up, that can make this fan base believe.
Well, who's on your short list, Kyle? Who
I don't know, honestly. Honestly, I don't know.
I really don't know. I mean, I've seen Kevin Keats, they'd be thrown out there. I mean,
JR would be the person to ask for that for a short list for basketball. He mentioned the Belmont head coach.
Yeah.
There's one at UT Rio Grande Valley. I saw Matt B. Starts with a B before. He's actually
UTRGV though is I mean they're not up. I just can't trust that level of competition.
Not me either. I just happened to see that name because I got a friend that's on Facebook from. He's actually in the Power Club. He's actually really good friends with that coach down there. That just happens to be. I saw that name thrown out there early on Hoist of Color, so that's why I mentioned that name. But
well, have they done non-conference though? You mentioned their level of competition in conference, JR, but did they do anything nice out of conference?
UTRGV?
Yeah.
I mean, I can find out for you, but I don't follow them because I mean, there's 360 something teams, so I don't know exactly what they're doing. So right now,
we got a football player from them.
Yeah, we did a tight end, and I'm looking forward to watching.
Right, they're only 12-11. Now I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Thank you, Alan.
Never mind.
They're playing good competition. Baylor, Illinois, teams like that. But they're only 11 right now. So.
Okay, I was going to mention as far as Pirate basketball goes, we're not having any success lately. But damn, we have some good players. I mean, Jaden Gardner, Tristan Newton, Brandon Johnson, R.J. Felton. Ezra Asur was I botched that last name. He was very good. CJ last year was tremendous. This year, I mean, Riley Jordan the last 2 years has scored, 1,000 points. We've had some really, really talented basketball players, but the problem is we've only had 2 or 3 talented basketball players, and the rest of the roster is it's not garbage, but it's not like
it's not American Conference level.
Yeah, thank you, Kyle.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with the portal situation, and you want to microwave things, right? When Kyle was talking about football, it's the same way with basketball or baseball. Like with Cliff, Justin and guys, is you can't go out there and just microwave a team. And when Kyle was talking about Texas Tech, the same thing with basketball.
I mean, you can now.
Yeah, basketball, you can.
Yeah,
you really can.
Well, Texas Tech did it in football this year. They made the playoffs.
But
my problem, though, what I was saying is individually, these guys have talent. The problem is they're not meshing. They individually, if you say we need this, well, that's great. It's a team sport. You got to have those guys be able to have chemistry and guys to really come together.
You're not wrong, Dave.
No,
you made a point. You made a good point, and you can indeed microwave a team in this day and age, but they've got to be able to come together and be a team.
Yeah, not just a collection of
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, I'll say this. You can name any person on the roster this season, and I could tell you some good things about them. I mean, we have everybody on our roster can do some things well. It's just we're not at the level that other teams are in our conference with like just overall talent beyond the 1 and 2.
Well, it's unfortunate injuries, early on hurt the chemistry, but you're talking about Riley and Emajuru. You got 2 NBA players on this team. They're going to play pro balls probably in the NBA, if not somewhere else. The problem is when you go 3, 4, and 5, we just haven't gotten when we get the production from the other guys, the team is successful. We have to have it's been consistent all year long. We go through these 4 and 5 minute scoring droughts.
Oh my goodness!
Is this year 3 or 4 for Schwartz?
4.
Yeah, you either get it done or you get the hell out of here.
Yeah, we do have a number 3 scorer now, though, in Dimitri Gardner. I mean, it took him a little while, and we only have him. He's a rental. We only have him for 9 or 10 more games, but he's really, really coming around and scoring some points.
So he's got 1 year left on his contract. Year 5 is coming up. He hasn't been extended, though. I remember.
Well, yeah, he got extended last year, though. Because
he got a 1 year extension,
and that just makes 1 more year, right? So
you can't leave a coach for 1 more year. So you're there. Gilbert's either going to have to fire him or extend him. You hamper recruiting. Maybe not as much as you used to because a lot of these kids are coming in for 1 year from the portal. But you really hamper recruiting having a guy with 1 year left on his contract. So he's either going to have to do enough to get extended or he's going to be fired, I think. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, Gilbert seems like he's not going to get rid of him. I think if it don't work out, if you're not to the point you can extend him, I don't think you can leave him sitting with 1 year left on his contract. You typically do not. It's done every now and then. But, we did it with Billy Godwin in baseball. Terry Holland made that decision to let Billy's contract run out, if you guys remember. But it is not done very often.
Yeah. And with Coach Schwartz, I just feel like if nothing changes, like if we just maybe win 1 or 2 more games,
he's got to.
It's going to not only hurt recruiting, but it's going to kill fundraising, in my opinion, because we had a lot of people step up and put in money, and it didn't get spent as wisely as it could have, or for whatever reason. I don't know. The injuries were a factor as well. But maybe, people aren't going to be so ready to just write a check. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing.
Schwartz is a good basketball coach. The problem is now he's in a situation where they're going to have to make the conference tournament and make a run, in my opinion, for him to be considered to be extended or to stay. I think that's have to happen at this point.
Right. And if things don't, to add to your point, Alan and Johnny and guys, if Schwartz doesn't have a nice little run between now and the end of the basketball season and make the American, for people that don't know, I'm sure everybody watching and listening, whether you're live or archived, then you know that there's only so many teams that make the tournament. And so
10 out of 13.
Right. So there's 3 that are left home. And
really 10 out of 12, because UTSA is they're locked to the 13th position. So 10 of the other 12 teams are going to make it.
So we have a chance.
I'm telling you, we have a chance, Dave.
No, I'm not anti-Schwartz. I like him personally, professionally. He knows what he's doing. So it's not like there's no hope for me. I think what it comes down to, if things continue to stay the same, I'll just say that, and it's not much better than what I foresee happening, and I could be dead wrong. But I think Gilbert knows that we've got to get better in basketball. And I think that he will bow out gracefully. And I think Schwartz would resign in that case. Notice that I'm not asking Schwartz to resign. I'm not anti-Schwartz. I'm just simply saying we know that.
It's just facts, Dave. It's just facts. This is year 4. He's not winning.
Show us something.
Yeah, he's not winning. And
he's a likable dude for sure.
Yeah, you got 1 year left on the contract after this year, and I think sometimes people don't look at that enough. So you gotta again, you got to extend or you got to get rid of him. You can't leave a dude sitting there with 1 year left, and that's what I'll keep harping on.
Nobody knows this better than Mike Schwartz. He knows exactly what he's up, what he's got to do, what he's doing. Sometimes, for whatever reason, X's and O's, knowing your stuff doesn't translate to success for whatever reason. And I think Mike is a example of that. The guy knows the game of basketball very well. He's a really good basketball coach, but for whatever reason, it just has not translated.
And then you have
anybody who gets a head coaching job at the Division I level,
in
any sport, and is a good, except maybe Scotty Montgomery, is a good coach to a degree.
Well, my big red flag, Alan,
Ricky
for
Stokes. Good God,
Ricky Stokes. My red flag for basketball is the fact that we're giving up 76.5 points per game this season, and that's the most since 78-79 season.
And he's a defensive guy.
Thank you, Kyle. That's where I was going next. And sometimes when I watch him on defense, I'm like, let me rephrase that. I watch other teams on defense, and I love the effort that's given, especially guarding the 3-point play, because the game, a lot of games are decided at the 3-point line. And we put ourselves in the hole every game because we don't shoot the 3-point shot well, and we don't defend it well. So that means we have a huge hole to dig out of the rest of the way. And sometimes we can do it, and most of the times we can't, just because we're in such a hole. We got to do better defending the 3.
And we just don't have the size other than Imajuru, who's a stud, by the way. But we just don't have we just don't have the size. We just don't have the size. We get out rebounded pretty much every game as well, and that's a big problem. You get yourself in a 18-point hole, most every game or a lot of games, and that's very hard to crawl out of. You're not going to do it most of the time.
You're right. Hey, Alan, I'm working on a stat right now. It just came to my mind before the show, so I haven't been able to follow it through. But Emma Raju has 33% of our offensive rebounds.
Wow.
Literally, he has 1 out of every 3 offensive rebounds. And I've gone back so far 6 seasons, and nobody even comes close to that. And I'm going to keep going back to see how far I have to go before I might have to go to, all the way to Blue Edwards. I don't know. But that's incredible what he's doing. People don't see it, but what he's doing on that offensive glass is really pretty amazing.
He is a perfect physical specimen for basketball. I really believe he's going to be playing, after college if he wants to do that. I think he's going to wind up somewhere. That size, he's got a good touch. He's pretty good at the free throw line. He's got some things to work on, but he's got a lot of upside. Got a lot of upside.
Yeah,
and he shed like 20 pounds from the time he was George Mason to East Carolina. Muscle now.
Yeah, I'm gonna. We're 2 minutes away from the 10 o'clock hour, so I'm gonna bow out gracefully. The name of the show is On Deck. It's supposed to be covering ECU baseball. We have not really done that. We did talk baseball at the beginning of the show. Just want to say quickly, next week we will be previewing the Xavier series. Baseball starts next Friday, and you got the Xavier Musketeers coming to town. Good team out of the Big East, and so next Thursday, for our listeners to tune in, it'll be the show will be what the format of the show is supposed to be. Start next Thursday, and that is previewing Pirate baseball, and hopefully Dave will have somebody on from Xavier or either a beat writer, more than likely from the Cincinnati area.
2 weeks ago, and
JR, my idea I told you about. David already reached out.
Genius. Okay.
David already reached out, so it's not going to work.
Okay. At least you had the right idea, and that was smart to do it ahead of time. I was doing it way ahead of time. So.
Yeah, I was going to just finding out that they didn't reply to other East Carolina podcasts. We were just going to be a national sports objective. We weren't even going to be affiliated with East Carolina. But anyway, we'll have somebody on from Xavier. But I'm going to get out here, guys. Y'all, we won't be here Sunday night because everybody's going to be enjoying the Super Bowl.
Later.
So, y'all be good. Later.
See you, man.
He's got a meeting with Mr. Beast. So
yeah.
Good luck, Kyle. Get that $100 million for us, bro. And that Alan, do you think he should get all quarters, nickels, dimes for that $100 million, or what denomination would you like?
As long as the money does not have Parker Brothers written on it, I don't care.
Okay. All right, there you go.
Where are we going next, Dave?
let's do some baseball. I know Justin's been chomping at the bit, and he is the NWA world champion right now. Wildfire Justin Butts. We wanted to talk, guys. For those of you that Stevie had to get up way early, or we were going to talk baseball, so that got us on we were doing everything in reverse, and we were going to talk about this, which we were going to talk about this right after Craig. Let's talk about the pitchers.
Okay.
We need to talk about.
I feel like I should do this like an abbreviated version because we're late. Because we can redo it next week. But I can. I mean, if you would like, I could give everybody. I could make everybody an expert on Pirate pitching in like maybe 5 minutes probably 3 minutes or less.
We can do that, and give a little.
All right. So let's start with the starting pitchers. That's always what everybody's looking for. Who's our Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night guy?
Yeah.
Well, my opinion on Friday and Saturday is exactly what it was a month ago, and that is Ethan Norby, the left-hander, on Fridays, and Sean Jenkins, the sophomore righty, on Saturdays. Now, initially, I thought Colby Weber, he's a freshman. I thought he would be our Sunday guy. And then I was hearing, well, Gavin Van Kempen is really, really impressing. And he's a senior, West Virginia transfer. And so then I'm thinking, okay, well, he's a senior. Colby's only a freshman. So maybe Gavin gets the Sunday start because, he's got the experience. And there's no need to throw Colby into, a starting position in his first game the first time he toes the rubber. But now, okay, so I was listening to the Pirate Radio the other day, and Mike Mullis was on there. And just to be honest, I mean, I would feel foolish trying to say something that was contrary to what Mike Mullis believes because he's been at he's been to these practices. He's seen like more than anybody else other than the coaches, and he's convinced that Ryan Towers, the lefty, the junior redshirt lefty, he's going to be the Sunday guy, which makes perfect sense because I just didn't know about his health. That's why I put Gavin Van Kempen in there because I just didn't know how healthy Ryan Towers was going to be. But apparently he's doing very well. And if Mike Mullis thinks that he's going to be the Sunday starter, then I'm going to have to sign off on that because.
Well, that just shows you, Johnny, how much depth we got at pitchers. I mean, that we're sitting here at the beginning, you're questioning what we got on Sunday. That just tells you how much depth we got. I mean,
1,000%.
Top of bottom. I mean, you got, I was looking at a thing today. You got Gavin Van Camp from West Virginia. You got Gavin Marley, right-handed pitcher for Lenore, and then you got Frankie Cohn also for St. Joe's. I mean, you got guys coming in, and then returning, you got Ethan Norby, Sean Jenkins. I mean, it just keeps on going. So,
yeah,
there's no telling what. I mean, I'm glad we're in that problem, and then, like I said in a previous episode, the fact that we possibly could have a actual midweek guy. Man, just the depth of this team.
Oh, yeah, we do because we got too many numbers of potential starters.
Numbers. I mean, obviously, we're going to deal with the injuries going throughout the year, but with this depth, I mean, it's plug and play. I'm really looking forward to see how Austin Knight and them guys come in there and Cliff, how they set up this rotation. It's gonna be a joy to see. I'm just telling you.
I agree, Justin. Great point. That's a great observation because that's going to be a treat just to watch it unfold. But I want to say, other than the I just mentioned 5 guys that I thought might be starters. But then you have.
What about the
potentially? I'm not even getting to the bullpen yet because Brett Antolik, apparently he's good to go. He could be a starter at any point. He's certainly a candidate for a midweek starter, if not first out of the bullpen.
And he could be one of the guys that come in the regionals. If we get behind in a regional somewhere, he could be that guy that comes in there, gives us 4 or 5 innings. It gets us through an elimination game. It gets us to that next game. So, I mean, like I said, the depth, man, I'm just telling you guys.
And here's, not only do we have pitching depth, but we have, I think, probably the greatest collection of left-handed pitchers that we've had in quite a while. I mean, Norby, Towers, Nick Moran's coming back. Yeah, he's just, he's coming back as a senior, and he could be a midweek starter. If not, he'll be probably one of the first ones out of the bullpen. We got a junior lefty, Luke Payne from Tennessee, who I feel like he could be a starter or the first out of the bullpen. And like you mentioned, Frank Saccone, the righty from St. Joe's, and I mentioned Brett Antolik. All these guys can be starters or first out of the bullpen. And then, coming back, more lefties. We got Gabe Beschloss, who's coming back. So I could see him as a setup guy, out of the bullpen or something. Dawson Neal's interesting. He's from Brunswick Community College. He's a senior. He's coming off arm surgery, but he's apparently, I haven't seen him personally pitch, but apparently he's looked very good. There's another lefty that we have at our disposal. And then Charlie Hoagland is a freshman. So I just don't know what the freshmen are going to be able to contribute this season, other than obviously Colby Weber, who's going to definitely get some innings. But the other guys, we just have so much talent. And then as far as righties go, Joe Webb from Liberty. Yeah, I mean, he was described in the press conference as Danny Beal on steroids. Yeah, Danny Beal could have been an MVP for us. Or I should say he had MVP type, just because he had so many appearances in such critical times, and he was someone that you could really count on. I just really enjoyed watching Danny Beal. So if Joe Webb is Danny Beal on steroids, we're in for a treat. He's a senior too, so this is his last season. We got Jackson DiLorenzo's back. He's a junior. He's a righty. He's back. Yeah. Thomas Paxton's a junior. He's coming from Belmont Abbey. Gavin Marley, like you mentioned, Justin, he's a redshirt junior coming from Lenoir-Rhyne, but he's a North Carolina guy.
And look at it and talk about Gavin Marley. Looking over his stats from last year, Lenoir-Rhyne, Tennessee, 2.7 ERA, 39.1 inning pitch. So he's got the veteran stamina. So looking at him, and then what people don't realize is, worst case scenario, if we get in a bind, Braden Burrs can also pitch as well for Green Central.
Yeah, we'll see about that. But we also have, to close this out with right-handers, Ethan Rose and Nathan Wines are both freshmen, so I'm not sure what they have. I'm not really counting on them for a lot of innings. We'll see what they do. Maybe, our roster has to be reduced, so I'm thinking some of these freshmen will probably get redshirted.
Red shirt, yeah. They're going to have red shirt, like I said.
But then we got to consider Colby Wallace. He's coming out of the bullpen. He'll be able to contribute as a righty. And Alex Boucher, he wants to pitch. But in all honesty, I hope people realize what a tough task it is for someone, because Alex is taking normal fielding position reps and batting. He's not really getting the pitching reps that all the other pitchers are getting. So
that's the same thing I said about Braden Burrs. I mean,
both of those guys, I feel like have the talent to contribute, but people just need to realize if and when they do it, really, you should really appreciate what they're doing, because it's just so hard.
It is. It really is. Alec Burleson, did it, but I mean, that's just hard to do. Playing multiple positions like that. So.
Yeah. So that's my pitching capsule, Dave.
Okay.
Very good.
We're gonna have the bottom line is, Alan Vick, that we've talked a lot preseason here, but and I know that the depth of this team is, I've heard numerous people say close to the program, including at the press conference, you and I were at Media Day, that this is the best depth in a long time that Cliff Godwin may have ever had. And I'm not a hype guy. I'm the guy that she's like, hold on. It's preseason. I know you've said it. There's a quiet confidence so that Cliff Godwin has that we haven't seen in a while.
Yep, and we'll talk about this more next week, but we're going to find out early, like I've talked about last couple of weeks, with Xavier coming to town, and they have the preseason Big Ten Player of the Year on that team coming, and we'll talk more about Xavier, but we're going to know immediately, 3 games in, if everything holds with weather and such, that we're going to know immediately. It's going to be a good measuring stick to start the season for sure.
Well, you open up, like I say, you open up against Xavier, then you turn right around and you play Carolina, a 3-game series, one in Greenville, one in Chapel.
Don't sleep on the Camels, though. They got our
and
number.
Right.
They got our number.
Campbell is one of them schools, we're going down to Campbell, and look, something about Campbell and that AstroTurf down there worries me a little bit. But like I said, I mean, if we can get through these first couple of games and we're sitting pretty, I think we feel confident. Like I said, we talk about pitching as one of our depth. I mean, I've also heard our outfield is really going to be really special this year as well. So then I saw another Twitter post a while ago. Ethan Norrie is the number 3 ranked starting pitcher in America. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but he was ranked number 3.
Well, I wouldn't argue.
So
there's a lot of good ones out there, though. But yeah,
exactly.
Guys,
hey, Justin just mentioned the outfield, and I mean, I'm kind of heartbroken, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah,
because I was so feeling I felt terrible for Braxton Trammell last year when he got hurt. And he's the guy that I've been really, really rooting for to have a great season, and he's like one of my favorite players. And apparently he's been injured, and he will not be in the opening weekend series, and it's looking like he could miss significant time. So that's just I'm heartbroken for him. I really am.
Really close to the vest as far as guys giving us information about exactly.
Oh yeah. So I'm not going to try to say anything. You're right, Alan. I told Dave I don't want to say anything, like I don't want to try to diagnose his situation or anything like that, but just the fact that he's injured at all and is going to be missing some time, it just I hate it. I really, really hate it for him. Hate it for the team.
When they keep it this close to the vest most of the time, that kind of lets you know that there's something at least moderately serious.
I agree, Alan. I agree. Now, I do believe that it does open up Alex Boucher. I feel like it opens up an opportunity for him, because I was thinking, and first of all, we just went over the pitching staff, and you see how deep it is. So I don't know that Colby Wallace is going to be pitching as much as he was the past 2 seasons. Maybe he will. He's very talented, so we'll probably want to use him. But, I was thinking, okay, Colby goes into pitch. What happens from there? And I'm thinking, well, then Braxton Trammell goes from left field to third base. But now that can't happen. So I'm thinking it's Austin Irby going from first base to third base.
Third base is his.
And then you got
Alex Boucher would go to first base, and just this is in my head, and
somebody that I'm looking forward to and transferred in from Millersville, outfielder Jefferson Barta, I believe.
Wow, I don't blame you one bit, Justin. I'm looking forward to him too. I'm telling you,
he is a special guy from what I've been told. Look out for him. He's going to be special out there.
If you look at his stats, it's almost a joke. It's like, what doesn't he do well? What doesn't he do well? He does everything well.
Exactly.
So, and I know it was Millersville, but still, that competition is not like. He's still playing against good ball players. I mean, It's not like. So yeah, I'm very excited for that as well.
There's another. I can't think of top of my head, but there's a freshman that I've been told by Cliff's dad that is really, really good as well.
Matt Lashley, probably from Florida. Indian River Community College.
Yeah, he is. They say he is another Riley Johnson.
Wow.
Oh well, that would be an outfielder. That might be Jeff Sabater.
That might be the guy, but he is another Riley Johnson.
He's got Riley's speed, that's for sure. Absolutely. That might be the
guy. And like I said, I talk to Cliff that all the time. And he said he is another Riley Johnson.
Yeah, well, Sabater is a base stealing machine.
1,000%.
Hey, as long as he can bunt, we're good.
Yeah, he's Sabater's gonna have it on.
And Alan, if anybody out there is saying you guys are botching his name, it's Sabater. No, that's what everyone else is calling him, is Sabater. But I actually asked him at the Rice basketball game. I said, Jeff, how do you pronounce your last name? He said Sabater. I was like, well, everyone's calling you Sabater. Why don't you correct him? He's like, I just roll with it. They can call me whatever they want. I just want to play baseball. So I thought that was an awesome answer. I like this kid already, but his name is Sabater.
Sabater, okay.
Yeah, it's not Sabater.
I like Sabater better.
Well, apparently so does everybody else. But
Sabater, Sabater.
And he's from his parents he's of Spanish ethnicity, and when I say Spanish, I mean from Spain. Yeah, and in Spain they actually pronounce it Sabater, like Tair, Sabater. But I guess he's kind of maybe shortened it a little bit, because he definitely said to me Sabater.
Yeah, if he plays well, I'll call him anything he wants to be called.
Thank you, John White. The freshman stud is Linehan. Is the freshman stud? I guess you were talking about.
Okay, John.
By the way, what do you think about have you guys seen the weather for next weekend?
Yes, it's changed. Well, Al,
I've seen anywhere from 65 to 40.
We should all.
We shall see.
Alan is our house meteorologist, so Alan, give us the forecast.
Well,
25 and sunny.
Yep, early in the week they were talking, upper 50s, low 60s for Friday. Now they backed off. 50. It looks more like upper 40s with sunshine for Friday, which is still okay. That's not bad.
Hey, 50.
Any wind, Alan? What about the wind? Because anything above like 7 is can be brutal on your feet out there in the jungle.
It's gonna be breezy. It always is in eastern North Carolina.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's after what we've been through. Heck, I'll take anything with sunshine above 40 degrees. I'll
take anything at this point.
Alan's going to be at the beach putting suntan lotion on his chest.
Yeah, I don't care.
I'll be in the pool sitting at the beach. How about
that? Yep.
Oh man, with your NWA belt.
Yes, exactly.
It looks moisture free.
98. My pool's like 98 degrees right now at the beach. So. Yeah.
Wow, and
steam rolling off of it.
Can we do like a meet and greet where you can sign, like you'll be at around the pool and we'll have you sign in like 8x10 glossies?
Be glad to. I charge $50 NIL money, so
$50.
$50. That's a steal, man. These kids these days.
Wow. All right. Well,
there's not a lot of pools in eastern North Carolina, so that's I'm gonna have to come visit you.
If it's 98,
come on down. We'll host the Sports Objective live from a later.
I like it, Justin. Seriously, we should do it. We should definitely do it.
Man.
I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to go down there and see our buddy Alan Vick at the race, and then
we're definitely doing that.
Speedway, baby, let's go.
Carteret Speedway, and then afterwards we'll hang out at Justice Pool, and we'll throw Alan Vick in the pool.
And then we'll go down to Jack's Waterfront Bar after.
Any pool that's 98 degrees is not a pool. That's a souped up hot tub.
Exactly right. You're exactly right, Alan.
Hey, Alan. Speaking of Carteret Speedway, did you happen to watch any of the Bowman Gray?
I did. I mean, parts of it I enjoyed. Parts of it were I would have rather had a colonoscopy with no propofol for parts of it. I don't know if NASCAR is coming back to Bowman Gray for the Clash or not. I think that might have been the last year.
I hope that's not true, because last year nobody was complaining. Nobody was complaining last year, and it was like I don't want to say a generational storm, but it was a weather oddity nonetheless. I mean, that doesn't happen in Winston-Salem. Yeah. So that means that the odds of it happening 2 years in a row are like nil. So they should come back.
Yeah, I love Bowman. I love Bowman Gray as a racetrack and as a facility. I don't know. And plus Fox, they switch away from the race with 30 laps left to go or whatever.
Yeah, but they did stick with it till 9 o'clock. Here's the thing. That was a 50-mile race that took 3 hours and 15 minutes because it was 200 laps at a quarter mile. That's 50 miles, and it took them 3 hours, 15 minutes. They never saw that coming.
It was the 4 hours of Bowman Gray.
Yeah, and hey, the last chance qualifying race was on slick tires on dry pavement, and that was an incredibly good race.
Yeah, I was really pulling for Corey LaJoy.
Oh!
Get in.
Alan, you and I are like very much in tune NASCAR wise, because Corey, I was hoping he was a little too gentlemanly there at the end. I thought he should have maybe been a little more aggressive, but he was in a bad situation because whatever he did, he had another guy behind him that was
was better, and Allmendinger was the
Allmendinger was the 16 that kind of pushed the 60 to the second place.
Right. Before we get out of here, I do have one more question for you guys, and I'm going to start with Alan Vick because but Wildfire, I think, is signing some autographs. So about the 98-degree pool. There's been talk, and I've heard it before, and I know, Alan, you're going to say that, oh, there goes NASCAR again, being too gimmicky. What about the talk of, because you had the race last night on a Wednesday night, would you have 2 races a week, Wednesday and a Sunday?
I know that logistically that would be a nightmare for the team. It may be good for the TV ratings and the revenue, but for the teams trying to do 2 races,
Dave.
I'm just thinking about the transport drivers that drive the trucks.
I would love it. I would watch both races, obviously, but it would have to be like 2 short tracks.
That's what I'm talking about.
It would have to be close.
One would have to be like somewhere we're not even racing right now. It would have to be like Rockingham and
but that's the whole thing. The whole point is that, in other words, you're not going to do something crazy like have the Clash out in LA and then you come out to Daytona and then like all back and forth. You would, if you did that, you would have. I'm not in favor of it, so don't misunderstand me.
Well, I would watch it though. That's the thing, but I think it's just too much to ask it's just too quick of a turnaround. I mean, you got cars that are rebuilt. You have, if the tracks are different sizes, you have a completely different vehicle you got to worry about.
Mention what network would you put it on, because they're not going to interrupt the Voice or their regular programming on a Wednesday night. To a lot of times,
well, they would have to. Yeah, that's you would have to. I think what it comes down to, I was telling Johnny Allen, and this, that what basically Fox did was to me low-hanging fruit. That racing is going to have some kind of precipitation. And when racing is one of your draws, racing is one of the things that you're doing. And yes, we didn't know there was going to be a Wednesday night kind of thing, right? But you kind of have to know that you're going to have to pad a lot of hours. I was telling Johnny, and the guy, so I won't say the guy's name. He knew a little bit about sports, but he said, "Oh, we only need East Carolina for 3.5 hours to do block that time." Like we were playing, East Carolina football on the radio and being in radio. And I said, no, what you got to understand, there's pregame, there's the game that can go long. You've got postgame. So what we ended up doing was we blocked out a whole lot of time, more than you would normally do, because that way, if East Carolina, the game goes long, then you got yourself covered. And that's what Fox should have done, and they didn't do it. And so they look like, you've got to know that there's no way that race is going to be a normal thing, especially after you've had that storm and why you've had to move it to Wednesday night anyway.
Yeah. They did a good job by going all the way to 9 o'clock, in my opinion. They did hang with it as much as they could.
Yeah, if they could have, if it was made sense, they probably should have blocked it until 10 o'clock, but you never know. It could have been an hour race, and it could have been done by 8:15.
Right.
Yeah, the last chance qualifying race had 1 yellow flag. It was a quick race.
It was an anomaly. It really was. I'll be interested when the ratings come out to see what kind of ratings that it got before they switched. They switched to Fox.
How many people have Fox Sports 2?
Not many. I did.
I do, but
I likely did myself. Yeah,
it's hard to find.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one channel. Normally you have a channel and then an HD channel on a cable TV. This is just was 556 on Optimum. That's it. There's no
board,
no nothing. That's it.
Hey, I assume anybody still watching is interested in NASCAR, so I just wanted to throw this out there. I thought NASCAR just botched the entire race when so at the beginning of the race, you were allowed to put as much fuel in the car as you wanted to, knowing that, hey, you can fill it up or you don't have to fill it up. It's up to you. And Chase Briscoe filled his car up. One of the only guys that did that. And then we had 149 laps of yellow flag. People are starting to run out of fuel. So Chase Briscoe was in a great position to win the race. But then NASCAR said, oh, well, these, because Kyle Larson ran out of fuel. And then I think Chase Elliott ran out of fuel. So they were like, okay, we're going to let everybody come in and refuel. And that sucked for Chase Briscoe because he ran the entire race with a fuel load of, fuel, which is another 200 or 300 pounds.
Yeah. It's an exhibition race, so they do some different things, but I don't understand. You should have to start every race with a full tank of fuel.
Yeah. That to me, you're right. It wasn't a points race, so it wasn't a huge deal. But still, it didn't seem fair to me that Chase Briscoe elected to go with the full tank in case there were a lot of yellows. And then there were a lot of yellows. And then they bailed everybody else out and let them fuel. So
how about the fans that braved the elements there at Winston?
Oh, they were terrible elements too.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
No.
There 3.5, 4 hours, 4.5 hours, whatever it was, in that weather. There's some diehards out there, man. I tell you.
I saw Larry McMurtry one time in the pits, and he had Larry
Reynolds.
McMurtry. I'm thinking of Lonesome Dove or something. Larry McReynolds in the pits. I swear he had 3 jackets on. He had two jackets, and then he had another down jacket over. It was cold. It was very cold.
I'm ready to go to Daytona, and I guess they roll in. They'll qualify for the front 2 spots on Sunday, and then they'll have the twins, and also the debut of the We've Lost Dale Earnhardt documentary on Fox right after the 125s a week from tonight, as a matter of fact.
Well,
yeah.
Dustin, are you still awake? Wildfire, are you still awake? I think we lost Justin.
I am here, guys. I am here.
He's just getting his second win. He's ready. He's ready to go. NASCAR, we need to go to Daytona, and I'm ready to go to Daytona, and I hope we have a great race. I love the 125s. They're 2 of my favorite races every year.
Me too.
And I hope we have a surprise winner for the Daytona 500. It's happened a lot recently, and I hope it happens again this year.
Alan, don't you agree though?
I hope it happens again this year.
The duels.
I think I'm lost.
What happened? Oh, Justin left him. Alan, don't you feel like the duels have lost some of their luster though? Because I remember hoping that you would be really tuned in, hoping that somebody would make the field. But pretty much now everybody's locked in, and it might be one driver that's trying to make it, but it's the suspense is not there like it used to be in years past.
Johnny, he can't hear you. He's going to go out. By the way, I do have some breaking news for you.
What is it?
I am an NBA fan, and there we go. I'm an NBA fan.
All right.
Hey, sorry about that, guys. My computer died there.
Yeah, mine did too.
Speaking of it,
yeah, my phone did too.
It must be.
All right, hey Dave. Before we get into the NBA thing, I just wanted to finish my question with Alan. Can you hear me, Alan?
I can, yes.
Okay, so I feel like I love the Daytona duels too. I really do. That's like something I really look forward to. But do you remember in the past, when Dave Marcus was trying to make the field at age 60, or James Hilton at age 70 something,
right.
and it was but nowadays it's pretty much everybody's locked in, and there's very few spots available, and it's just not as much. I don't know, suspense.
Yeah, it's like
I
talked about a couple of weeks ago, being a Hut Strickland fan. There was several years there, Hut had to be in the top 14 to get in the Daytona 500. And
you guys,
there were some great stories every year of drivers that were able to race their way into the Daytona 500. Yeah.
You guys remember Dick Trickle from back in the day?
Oh, Dick Trickle, of course.
Yeah, one of the greatest short track drivers that ever lived.
Absolutely. And there's a podcast called The Dick Trickle Effect on what's the name of that podcast? Carolina Rabbit Hole is the name of the podcast. And they just talk about all kinds of different subjects. But one of the things they were talking about was NASCAR. And Dick Trickle was just an interesting guy. The way
He would 200 races.
People thought he drank a lot. People said, "Man, that Dick Trickle, he drinks a lot of beer." But the whole thing behind the Dick Trickle effect was he would have one can of Busch Light, and he would have that same can for like 3 hours of the party, and people would think he's always drinking, but he actually never drank. He just always had a can of beer in his hand. And that's like one of the interesting things about NASCAR drivers. It's so cool.
He won well over 1,000 short track races. And speaking of Trickle, we won't get on but how sad was that the way he passed away and what happened?
Terrible.
Awful.
I was listening to NASCAR radio on Sirius XM when that story broke. I'll never forget that. And they thought at first it was not true, and I hope it's not true. And then it was, where he actually called 911, didn't he?
Yeah, he went to the cemetery, called 911, and said, "I'm in this color pickup. I'm over here, and you're going to find a body. So you need to send somebody." He had a big pain in his chest, and he went to all kinds of specialists, and they never could figure out what it was. But he had under his left breast. He had debilitating pain for like a year and a half, and he went to every specialist in the country, but they never could figure out exactly what was wrong and what caused that.
Well, guys, before we get out of here, I've been promising the Hornets.
I'm going to delay you again with the Hornets chat, Dave, because I got to say one more thing to Alan.
I got something there too.
Okay, Alan. So I need to hook up with you next week. I'm going to the Xavier game, obviously, the Xavier series. But okay, so I've discovered that not only do I have a 124th Circuit City Hut Strickland car, but I also have a 164th Hut Strickland Circuit City's car. So I would love to transfer them to you so that they can enjoy a new life.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll get together, and I really appreciate that, Johnny. That's very nice.
Oh no, it makes me happy to do it. To be honest with you,
really appreciate that. We'll text a picture of me and you and your cars to Hut. How about that?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So my story with the Hornets just picked up a guy by the name of Kobe White.
Yeah.
Tar Heel,
former Tar Heel. Kobe White actually went to my middle school at Eastern Wayne. I actually played football with his brother in high school.
There you go.
So I grew up knowing Kobe White. Great kid, great family. Really good fit for Hornets, and glad he's playing back home.
Oh, shoot, they won again. Thank you, John. They won again. 8 in a row.
That's this is the longest win streak.
Yeah, but they've been underdogs in at least half of those games.
You got to go all the way back to the 90s. I read just now, and I'm a big Hornets fan. The problem is I have nothing to talk about. But man, that lineup, and they're calling themselves the Killer Bees, guys.
Yeah, like the Redskins used to do back in the day. Hey, John, if John White's still listening, I'd be interested in knowing how many minutes Colby White got, because I assume that Ball was the starter. I'm just curious.
He's a great insurance policy because Ball is a great player, but he's injury prone, as you guys know. So anyway, do you guys have anything before we get out of here? Because I just want to say thank you. We have a huge crowd again tonight, and they've stayed with us. Another big crowd, and we've talked about a lot of different topics.
Yeah.
But this is 2 shows in one. So if you're wondering why we've gone so long, there will not be a Sunday night show. And, Johnny, I told you earlier, I know our ratings are good, but I'm man enough to say I don't think we can match the Super Bowl ratings.
No, so we definitely can't go up against them. But I'll have some baseball stats for the opener against Xavier. I was going to give them tonight, but there's just no need to because, we're still a week out. So I'll hold them. And on Thursday, I'll be in Greenville. I won't be in Virginia. I'll be in Greenville. And I got some good stuff for the opening matchup.
Let you know, Kobe White did not play. It was a coach's decision.
Okay. That meant, okay. So he's not. Okay. Thank you, John.
Yep.
Yeah. Looking forward to next week's show, guys. I mean, Thursday, that's going to be fun. Baseball Eve, my favorite time of the year. So looking forward to getting to Greenville next Friday. The plan is if the weather holds, I'm going to check my kids out of school early, and we're going to the ball game next Friday. So looking forward to it. I will probably not make the Saturday game. It is my daughter's birthday weekend, so I've got the kids next weekend, so we're going to go to the rodeo in Kenansville. But as long as the weather holds out, I'll be there Friday and maybe Sunday. So looking forward to a great weekend of Pirate baseball, getting the season kicked off. My favorite time of year is like Christmas Day to me.
It's a really good time.
So looking forward to it, guys.
I'll get to see Alan. I believe actually on Valentine's, I will be with you, Alan.
Yeah, I will definitely be there on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know about Friday yet because and I'm on the air. The game starts at 4, and I've got the air shift. So, but I may try to roll out there, right as soon as I get done. But I'll definitely see you this weekend, Johnny, and see everybody at least for a couple of games.
Yeah, hopefully I can see you guys too next weekend as well.
Absolutely, Justin.
All right, and we appreciate everybody. Again, we will not have a Sunday night show because of the Super Bowl. We'll be back next Thursday night on deck. And again, that's why we went so long. So you have a whole week to digest the show for those of you that are picking up bits.
How long to digest this week?
Yeah, this is like Jim Cornette drive-through or one of his shows. So the experience.
It's an odyssey, a Jim Cornette odyssey.
There you go.
Right. All right, we'll get out of here. Thank you so much to Craig Doucette. We want to thank Stevie, who had to get up early, and Kyle left us about 10 o'clock, so Eastern, about 37 minutes ago. We'll get out of here. We've had a great time. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Wildfire Justin Butts, Johnny Seth Robertson.
Yes.
We got to come up with a nickname for Alan Vick, so we'll do that. We have a week to come up with it. We'll do that next week. Yeah. If it's Thursday night, it's on deck right here on the Sports Objective. Good night, everybody. And go Pirates.
Go Pirates.
You're watching the Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.